Welcome to Spillin' Honey, the podcast that encourages you to spill it, honey. So, on today's podcast, this is the Battle of the Sexes podcast. So, the premise of this podcast, it is an open forum podcast, and today we have a panel of men and women, and we are going to duke it out respectfully, of course. But this is a podcast for any questions that you have. If you're a man and you have questions for women, or you got something you want to get off your chest concerning women, this is the podcast to do so. And vice versa. If you are a woman and you want to get something off your chest concerning men, this is the podcast to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with one question in particular, just to kind of break the ice. So my first question for the group is cheating a deal breaker for you? Why or why not? Anybody want to chime?
I'll chime in. I'll go first. Yes, it is a deal breaker. It's not just the whole act of cheating, it's everything that goes with it, the deception, the lying, everything. I can't trust you afterwards. Like, everything you say is a lie to me. Like, everything, I'm going to question everything. It's just not the physical act. It's everything that you put. Like, you had to put so much work to, make me believe that you was doing X, Y, and Z when you were, when you were supposed to be doing something else. So you just broke that foundation. So yes, that's a deal breaker.
So would you divorce your husband?
I did divorce him.
Because he cheated?
Yes.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay. As long as it was worth it.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is it like, are you marriage or? Because I think marriage is different.
It don't matter either one.
No, it does matter.
I feel like it's worse if you're married.
I don't mean it don't matter like cheating wise. I mean like, is it a deal breaker for you in general? Because Senator asked,
yes.
Is it marriage or is it just a regular relationship? I think it matters regardless of if you are just in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship and if you're married.
Well, it's easier to walk away when
you're
a boyfriend and
right.
girlfriend.
When you're married, it's like
when you're married,
it's
You're
like
walking away.
Right.
Go.
Like, in my opinion, life depends on.
Oh, we agree with you saying, but they say you got to do most.
Life depends on what you have put into the basket.
Put the steps in place, then.
Right.
That has a lot to do with it. A person that's dating, walk away. A person that's just got married, walk away maybe. If you got kids, you have a house, let's talk about it.
Right.
you got years.
He like walk away, Lord.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you know what? You could be walk away for the rest of your life.
Yes.
I'm saying you can walk away for the rest of your life.
But it also depends on who the couple is.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I've seen couples that cheated and they never got together, but then I've seen couples that cheated and their marriage is now even stronger. It's not so much as the act of the cheating, it's the perpetuation of the cheating. If it just keeps happening. One time is bad. And I'm not saying, you should just be a doormat for anybody or whatever the case, but like my brother says, sometimes you got to figure out what it is. But the people that are involved, if the man cheated, he has to do whatever he needs to do to build that confidence back in the woman. And he has to be able to accept and face the hurt that he has caused and broke the trust that he has done to her. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not willing to do that, most couples that I've seen that do it, they're willing to make that next step to build that trust up again. Like, if you have children or if you're just, single people, we can just walk away. But married people, like my brother said, there's more invested, but it can't be one person trying to fix it. They both have to fight just as hard. He has to take everything she given to him because you have broken the trust. And he has to be able to receive it to help build that marriage back up.
Let's be for real. Men ain't gonna want cheating either.
Yeah. I'm not saying.
No, I didn't say that.
The one just said, in general, we just said in cheating in general. And I think, and I'm going to piggyback what she says, especially since I went through it, and it just wasn't one time. It was the entire marriage. So, and it's different. And in my situation, I'm just going to speak on me. I tried to work it out, but the person kept doing it. Right. And so you broke the trust. And so at this point, it was, yes, we have a son. However, I don't want my son son to grow up in that environment to think that one, it's okay to treat women that way, and then also two, that that's what you're supposed to be as a man. So I have to do as a parent, I had to make that decision. It's a hard decision, especially when you're married and you do build something. You have to choose yourself first sometimes, and you have to think about your son and your generation after you. What's the legacy you're leaving?
Okay.
You have to
Because
go
basically
You
the
said that's us.
you
all
was
right.
trying, but he wasn't.
Right.
So yeah, you trying, he ain't.
Then that's
He ain't trying to get right.
Was he
That's
cheating
great.
before you got with him?
I found out after the fact. Yes, he was.
Okay.
Let's say it's not so much as cheating, it's breaking trust.
So breaking
Right.
trust.
And it's not just in marriage relationships, it can be in friendships, it can be anything. And if you never identified what's the cause of that,
Yeah.
and you're not willing to do the work that it takes to rebuild it, then yes, it's a no, it's a no-go. Because you have not really identified what drove you to that, why you did it, and you're not coming forth with the truth. I think most women, and I can speak for myself, if a man will straight up come and tell you what's going on, you
Right.
can digest it a little bit better.
Right.
You can make a choice.
Then when
Right.
somebody tells you and it's betrayal and you feel like I'm sleeping with the enemy.
Right.
Now
Right.
it's playing with your psyche.
Right.
Do I really know this? Is our relationship really real?
Right. What else
What
you
we
lying
built
about?
really
Right.
true? And these are the issues that begin to happen in the cheating process. Like you said, if it's one time, yeah, but let's do the work. Let's go to counseling, let's do the
Right.
work, go find you someone to talk that you can trust. But majority of the time, it doesn't happen that way. And then one person is trying to work it out, then it's over and over again. And then also, if a woman or a man decides to stay, a lot of times the offended party is the one that still has the psychological things that are happening. And the one that did the offense does not want to address it. Oh, you took me back, so let's just move on.
They have to
No,
work.
if it takes them 10 years, they're willing to show, you have to stay in it. There was a show that I listened to, and it was a man was like, him and his wife, he cheated, he messed up in the relationship, but the wife stayed. He said it took her 7 years to forgive him. Not that she didn't forgive him, to build the trust again.
Right.
So whenever it came up and she went through thinking about it, and he understand her language, he said he had to cope with it because he caused the offense. But a lot of times the person that causes the offense does not want to give that person that needs to be healed time.
Right.
You were in a different space. I was in a different space. So now you want me to be in the same place, and we're not. I have to heal you. And that's a lot of the things that come when the offense happens. What do we do to build it? How do we move forward? So I used to think that cheating was a non-breaker as well, until I went through the same thing in my prior marriage. I wanted it, but they didn't want to do the work. And sometimes it happens because there's things inside of us that need to be worked on, and that's just the act of what you're leading up to. So now let's deal with what's really going on the inside, and not just the cheating.
Oh, wow.
I mean, not what you're saying. I mean, there's always, it has to be a reason why they're doing it. So you need to get to the root of the problem before you can even move forward. Because if you're not, it's gonna keep happening. Right. It'll be a vicious cycle. Maybe he got some issues, or whatever going on. He or she got issues that has to be fixed. If not, it's gonna be the same.
And you
over
can't
and over
take it
again.
personal. We take it personal because we're in this thing, so it's personal.
Yeah.
And once we can identify and say, it's not my issue, but it is, as a whole, it's something that's coming against our union, but it's not my personal issue. And if we can separate that, we can begin to heal, because a lot of times you be like, oh my goodness, what did I do? I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough. But once you realize that's their issues and something that they need to work on and address separate, but we can work on it together in the unit, but separate, our identity has to be worked on and figured out. And then it makes the whole better.
But you gotta also understand too, what is normal? What I'm basically saying is, when you work in a household, what's normal for one person might not be normal for others.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm basically saying, there's a lot of characteristics that you pick up on is a lot of times from where you grew up. So that might be normal to you, but it might not be normal to you.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's why you gotta understand, before you get married, you have to understand why you're dating. These are things you have to find out.
Yeah.
Why doesn't a person pay their bills? Well, hey, their mom and dad probably weren't paying bills either. That's not all the time, because anything we talk about tonight, there's always gonna be an exception to the rule.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but what I'm basically saying is, you have to look at somebody's past. A lot of times they'll tell you what the future's gonna be.
Yeah, but they
But
put
it's-
exception to the rule, but they make it the rule. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
yeah,
People
but
have
yeah.
exceptions to the rule, but but then after a while, the exception to the rule begins to be the rule. And sometimes that happens, especially in our culture, sometimes that happens. The exception tends to be the rule, and that's not the case. And that's what produces this dynamic integrate into our culture that's been defined, and it's not right. So someone has to break it apart and say, hey, let's start over, let's get this right. And it doesn't happen. So it perpetuates in your children, your grandchildren, now your cousin, now your auntie, now your grandma, now, you know, it perpetuates, but it has to stop somewhere when it becomes a rule.
But
it should be.
sometimes you have to go to 2 or 3 people. You might mess up with this person, mess with that person, you realize, like, listen, I'm messing my life. So this person you get this time, you're going to make sure you don't do it because it messed up. You learn. Sometimes we don't learn from that person. Sometimes we learn from somebody else, from that person.
But that's going on. You gotta figure out, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I'm my third one. Hey, what's going on? You must be me. It ain't.
But then
Or you picking the wrong one every time or something, you know.
But then Tammy touched, I'm sorry.
Do you really feel like, so here's, I mean, the piggyback, do you really feel like that person is the problem? Because, I mean, I think it's the individual. That person's just not worth it. The second one's not worth it.
Yeah.
You come to a point where you feel like, because I'm just speaking from my experience being married, when you get married, there's certain things you do for your wife that you didn't do for this one, that you didn't do for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same. I look at it, it's the same no matter what. It may not have nothing to do with that person, may not have nothing to, it just wasn't worth it. I mean, you feeling a void. Some people date just to be dated. You know, it don't take 6-7 years to know that person is the one. So,
and that's my question. Why don't you wait then? If this person is not the person that you desire to be with, why don't you wait until you see what you like and really drives you? And that's how relationships and people end up being messed up.
Because people want to fill the void.
But if you're and that's the whole thing we're talking about, issue. It becomes the rule, and it should not be.
But also,
what do you mean
know that's the one, then why you still cheated on?
You gotta understand. Just because that's the one for you don't mean that's she the one. Vice versa. No. What I'm basically saying, if I'm dating you, listen.
One way thing.
Just because you care for somebody don't mean they care for you. She might be the one for me, but I might not be the one for her.
And she might go out and do her thing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So no, but I'm talking about that. Okay, I'm talking about this man says you're the one. God told me.
Oh, but they
God told me.
Okay. They go cheat.
You is the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you still cheat.
Right.
Because you saying God.
But you gotta find out why.
Still cheat. I'm talking about you saying God, and you asleep, and He woke you up and told you, and you still cheat.
But still, if you got issues, no one's perfect. So if you got issues to work on, no matter if God sent them or not, if you ain't right with you, if you're not right with yourself, you got issues, things gonna happen. No one's perfect.
When you cheat,
but then at the same time, when you get into these relationships, you also have to be grounded in your mental and where you are. You have to be able to use the spirit of discernment. We can sit here and say we didn't know these people was cheating or, but in our spirits, our instincts, we knew. As a woman, you picked up the differences. You picked up. We chose not to see. We chose to forgive. We chose to make this fairy tale picture of who this person was and overlook the red flags. Not only do you have to be careful on who you pick, but then you got to be a whole person for yourself. And if this person is moving this kind of way and I can't move like that, then I need to move over here. A lot of times we get ourselves in these situations because we want something or we see something, but it's not the reality of what it truly is. Most people that cheat, I'm telling you, you know. Something in you tell you like something ain't right. This person is
good. Things change.
But you choose. So when you get in these relationships, you got to make sure you right. You stable. So when stuff happens, you need to move around. You can move around and not stay in something that you know is going to continuously hurt you.
And not settle.
Yeah.
Basically, you need to take accountability for yourself,
yes.
your actions, and you need to have standards. Especially I feel as a woman, speaking from a woman, you need to have certain standards that you know that these are deal breakers before you even
get to that point.
You give your heart to somebody. You need like, okay, he needs to meet X, Y, and Z. If he don't meet that, we can't go any further. So you already have that mindset. And you were speaking about date. Some people date just to avoid. I feel like you need to date for a purpose. So you need to know we are both going here. We both are equally yoked. Then we can move forward. If that's not the case, then I don't
That's easy said and done.
Yeah, we sit here.
But it comes with growth and maturity.
But after, right. But as you grow up, depending on where you are in life.
Right. I'm 38, so I can say that for me, 10 years
21 now.
Right. No, I'm speaking as almost 40 years old.
Yeah, I understand that, yeah.
I mean, well, we sitting here and we talking about it because we got time to think about it, but it's not really logical because that's just not how life works. Like some people mess up, some people make mistakes.
Yeah.
It may be a one-time thing. It may be I went out this night, this girl gave me her number, and then the next day, and then I regretted it and all that. But it's not always. It could just be a one-time thing, and I messed up and made a mistake. It's not always like I got an issue. I'm trying to fill a void. Or it's just kind of like it was just the heat of the moment. I slipped up and messed up.
See, women don't understand.
No, I'm not talking about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm just
The worst thing is you come back and tell your wife if you cheated on your girlfriend, it meant nothing to me.
Yeah,
but that's I mean, that's just what it is.
But the heat of the moment.
We do things on purpose.
Right.
We do things for other people in mind.
And that's the difference.
But hold on. So now we're dealing with a double-edged sword because you just said it, be honest from up front.
Yep.
So if it can't be no buts.
He didn't say be honest.
No.
He said he made a mistake.
You said earlier somebody said be honest. So he just said he was being honest, and you said that's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing.
That's not what she said. That's not what she said, though.
Not that I want him to be truthful, but when you say it, we're just in our head saying
That's my point.
that doesn't work.
Until you have to look at. I'm not saying all men. I'm not saying all men too, but I think we all think kind of or have the same concept where men cheat and it don't mean anything to women is classified when they cheat. It's more than just a sexual thing. There's some feelings involved. They're trying to, they like the person or whatever the case may be. That's just, in my opinion, that's just reality. It's just how it is. I'm not saying all men are like that, and I'm not saying all women are like that, but it happens.
That's why it's a deal breaker. A lot of times a man will leave a woman if a woman cheat, but he expects you to stay.
Oh, yeah.
That's the deal breaker.
Ego thing with men, though, because you be like,
No, because see, the way we think is just completely different. Because you already said there's feelings. When you mess up, there's feelings. With a man, he can go do something with 5 women, come right home, and don't care nothing about the women.
Oh, wow.
That's reality. That's reality. And guess what? He don't never have to call her again. And come right home and baby, I love you. But when y'all do it, most women, there's feeling. This stuff has been calculated to do something. Men don't have to be calculated. They could just be like you say. You could be out be one-time thing. But that woman, most times she ain't gonna do that. No. She gonna have a X cross, whatever T's, I's cross, before she do something. She gonna ready to go. That's why
most women are doing it because it doesn't happen to them. You can't tell me that and I be okay.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, that's the reality of life. Is that men, when they marry somebody, they think they're perfect. We know they're not perfect, but in our mind, they're perfect. So we don't want y'all to do nothing wrong because we think we hold y'all to a high esteem.
But we do too.
Now listen. Most women like men.
We do too.
Listen. Ain't no man gonna listen to a woman say, "Yeah, I had this boyfriend, but a woman say, "Yeah, he used to date her, he used to date her, he used to date her." Y'all have no problem with that. That's what he used to do. I'm with him now. Y'all don't say that?
That is. Men that had multiple women appeal more attractive to women, but vice versa is the opposite.
Prime example, what's that chick name? Tell me she slept with 35 men. So I mean, I'm sure when men heard that, they was like, it's probably something that's still, but ain't nobody really thinking like, oh man, that could be my gal now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm just gonna be totally honest, she ran through. Like wet toilet paper. I'm not saying.
She have a whole sex tape out there.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the thought process. I'm saying that's the thought process of it. That's the thought process. And now, as far as men go, they're gonna have multiple sex partners. Most women know that. Most women, they understand that's the past. If he's with me now, he's
exactly,
like you said,
that's the past. That does not give you an excuse to not have any discipline and go out
No,
and have
we're
multiple
not
partners.
talking about
But I'm saying, but there's an obvious double standard, but you still have to have discipline. There's no heat of the moment. You have to have discipline. If you love me,
right.
I should be in the back of your mind. There's no heat of the moment. I mean, unless you're like inebriated or.
That sounds real good.
But that's it.
But that's the truth.
That's what I just said.
There's still a
That's why I
process.
say this. There's a reason, an excuse. It's not an excuse. There's no reason for it. It's a choice. It's just like, I know you mentioned your upbringing, and I know we all did kind of disagreed on, we've had this discussion before, but I don't believe in that, well, because you can be raised in a household, your parents stole, you say, well, I steal because my parents stole. No, because it comes an age, you know the difference between right and wrong, and you know what the consequences are. So now you're okay with those consequences, because if I get caught, I know I can go to jail, I get shot, but you've processed in the back of your mind, you don't care. So it's a choice.
Right.
So the same thing with cheating. It ain't it's not a reason.
Okay,
it's not an excuse.
You coming up as a male, as a man, what did you see when you were young that thought that it's okay to have multiple women? It's okay to date this girl, sleep with this girl. I mean, what in your environment?
I didn't see anything.
But I'm just saying, is it great that someone tell you, hey, you need to be faithful to your wife, you need to be faithful? Did you see other couples or anybody that was loving their wives?
So yeah,
like
I was adopted and raised by my grandparents. They were
50 years, almost 50 years being married. Same with our parents. So we have the same kind of background.
So would you say that you got that from like maybe with your boys, your homeboys, the men you know in the neighborhood, that it's okay to have multiple women and sleep around? I mean, where does it come from?
So listen,
time out.
My ex told me that his father, who was never in his life, when he finally encountered him, the one advice that he gave him is never keep one woman.
He said, son, always keep you more than one woman.
That's what he told me.
So I'm going to tell you the advice I got.
That's what he told me.
He did it.
And when he said it to me like, I can't believe he said that. I'm going to try to be this better man. But he didn't. Yeah. Wow. He still did it.
So I'm going to tell you the advice I got. Always be honest. Let them make the choice. And so when you're honest, when she can't get mad if you see it, because a lot of times, some women, I can change him. Oh, he gonna, I'm not ready for a relationship right now. Okay, cool. You can't get mad if I'm telling you I'm not ready for a relationship and I'm with somebody else or whatever. You can get mad, but all I have to say, hey, look, man, I told you from the get-go, I'm not ready. You may be mad for a little while. You might be gone. You might come back. Why? Because it's not my fault. I told you from the get-go. So you made the choice because you thought that you could change my mind. But I already told you from the get-go. So I would say probably, for me, that's probably why I talked to multiple women. It wasn't, because I didn't see that.
That was in college before we got married. We were friends.
Hold on.
That was 1965. We met in college, and so that's interesting. We met in college, and so I had a boyfriend, and we were friends, like best friends. And he knew all my business, right? Who I was dating, climbing through all this crazy stuff. But he had, as I teased him, a different girl of the week. But he was honest with them, but I never knew his business because we were friends. But he always would tell, no, I don't have a girlfriend. But that didn't mean he didn't sleep and have female friends. And he told them.
And they might have thought that.
Yeah, but he was always honest with them.
So
And that was their choice.
That's what we
I guess
it's not a lot of women, but I have a really good girlfriend of mine. She don't care if her man cheats.
See, everybody different.
She don't tell them,
She's telling
but
them.
that is not, that ain't even on the top 10 of her deal breakers, like at all. But
But everything, what works for somebody else may not work.
I had
Does she cheat?
she probably be cheating. I had several women tell me like, I can't believe like you left because of that. Like you had it so good. This man was doing blah 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 blah. But like
That's
when
the
you're
wrong reason.
disrespected so many times,
That's the wrong
and
reason.
don't get me wrong, I stayed after something, but you're not gonna keep disrespecting me, and you definitely ain't finna disrespect me with the same woman. Like that make me feel like you want to be with this woman.
Right.
And then even after we split up, you wind up being with that woman. So that's who you chose.
A lot of times, it's what you can put up with. Like my sister always says, a relationship is based on what you can put up with, believe it or not.
The same thing.
And everybody's different.
Yeah.
How you feel about yourself? Like I'm an older woman, so it gets to a point where you be like, okay, am I gonna deal with this? Or am I gonna deal with this? Or do you internalize and make your peace and your happiness within yourself?
That's right.
And once you make your peace and your happiness within yourself, it's not to say that you don't like men, but it's just certain things your energy is going to tell you don't work. And you're going to start avoiding certain things. And when things come before you, you're going to accept of what they are. Not what you want them to be, who this person wants you to be. You accept this person for what they are. Can I deal with that? What are my deal breakers? I had an interesting conversation the other day, and the person asked, what's more important, loyalty or trust?
Trust.
For some people, it'd be trust.
Some people
And some people, it's loyalty.
That's a fine line.
That's a fine line.
That's the same.
I go hand in hand.
But you can be loyal without trust.
Yeah.
But you gotta trust them. You gotta trust somebody.
Loyal without trust. But you trust is trust.
Yeah.
I trust you. But loyalty is you can still be loyal to me as a friend or loyal to me as a husband, but you still can be cheating. I don't trust you. So that's the thing. I think cheating says a lot about you as a person, not necessarily about the person.
How you loyal to somebody when you cheating on them?
I'm gonna give you a prime example.
You say you loyal, you still
You're not loyal for the sexual attribute, but the bills are being paid, making sure the kids are taken care of,
being showing up.
And there's different
You have
levels to
friends
it.
that's loyal that show up to you, but you can't trust them. Right.
But it depends what dynamic you talking about. You talking about a friend or you talking about your
No, I'm talking
husband?
about relationship.
It all falls under the same
You can be there in the bed,
umbrella.
but you loyal every night coming home, but you don't trust him.
You got a
It's a
prime
difference to
example.
me.
You got a homeboy, that's your boy. He ride or die for you. When something pop off, you can call him, but you won't bring him around your gal. Why not? Because you know.
No.
Because you know. I'm just saying.
But
But
it's
it's
friends, you know, yeah,
but
you know
it can
what
work. It's the same way. I mean, it can work either way. That's what I'm saying. It can work either way.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You can be loyal, but you don't have to trust it.
Exactly.
But that's the.
Yeah.
Would you rather find out? Would you rather find out and be miserable, or not know and be happy?
Bam.
Ooh, yes, Chevy. Good question.
Hey, anything I say tonight, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just making content for the podcast. You know, I'm trying to get it's just content. It's just content.
Well, some women go looking, and in my marriage, I did not look. I promise to God, I never was a woman that searched no man and looking through their phone. I never was. It was bought to me.
But when it comes to
I didn't have women calling me. I ain't had them games. I would have never knew. Like I was in the blind. It actually came to my daddy by mistake.
oh wow.
Like so. That's how I got it. So if we're answering that question.
Yeah.
I was happy and it was going on. Look, it was going on and I didn't know because I wasn't looking, but I also believe God revealed me.
Right.
So you say you had no
I had
signs
no
or nothing?
I had no
The
clue.
clue.
I had no clue.
So there's no change in how he did things.
Well,
everything was
let me
on
take that back. I
said
had no
that.
clue for a while.
Like
So
you
of
said,
course
after
in
a
the
while, you
end,
noticed,
of
like,
course,
hey,
that's what I was gonna say.
he
In the
moving
end, it
different.
got sloppy.
And he got
Oh yeah, it got real
sloppy.
sloppy.
Right.
Like
Cause he
you
figured,
ain't come home.
You know why that though? Because you
Yeah.
doing it for so long.
Right.
You'll take a little bit. Take a little
Exactly.
bit. Oh, she cool with that? Oh shoot, I'm wide
Right.
open now. You know,
Right.
She don't care about that.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard
So
to
it
catch a
got
woman, so-
sloppy at the end.
It's harder. So hey,
We said.
it's way hard to catch a woman.
Oh yeah. This
That thing been going on for a whole year. Like what the hell?
Get scratched out. Damn sloppy, man.
You talking about the grade.
Rub your feet at home.
Get damn sloppy, man.
Hey, I'm gonna get my hair done. You been gone for 5 hours? Yeah. A man goes somewhere for 5 hours. Like what the hell is said.
She's rubbing your feet a little different than when she used to.
Hey, they gonna
know it's something.
Let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something. They gonna rub their feet the same way. Women ain't crazy.
It's a
With
difference.
the hard
You know.
head, okay?
You touch that pinky toe in a different way, bro.
And women are smart as hell. You think that? Okay.
They're sloppy. They want to be sloppy. They want to find out.
Women, hey, most women ain't sloppy.
Yeah.
But I too think, male or female, people that cheat get caught if they want to get caught. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes they want to get caught.
That's what that's the only.
Gall.
That's the only way that they.
Just
That's the
say
only way that they get caught. They have
what's
because you
going
get
on.
sloppy.
Yeah.
So you know you get individuals know they get sloppy. They know, like it's just like I said, when the person steals, you know the consequences. If I steal, I may go to jail or whatever. Well, you know eventually if I cheat, oh man, dang, I should have deleted. I'm gonna delete this picture out of my phone. Nah, I'm gonna keep it for a little while longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ah man, this girl gave me this number. Man, should I throw it away? I'm gonna hold on to it. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get, cause you want to. I'm not saying you want to get caught, but you do.
Sometimes you be tired, I guess.
Yeah, you just
Well,
sometimes.
take us in the mind of a cheater. Well, you say you was honest. Not, I mean,
I know what you're saying.
Before, you know,
No.
with the wife over there. How does a man's mind?
Well, I guarantee you some women out here that cheat, they ain't gonna say nothing.
How do
I
you?
guarantee you some women that cheat.
How can in your mind you saying, man, I want to be with her.
I'ma tell you-
I like her. She hot too. I'm gonna try to talk to her today, her tomorrow. Who? I mean, what?
I'm gonna speak
Yeah,
from
but
some things that I've seen. Some things that I've seen and how I analyze. So I had a friend of mine I used to work with, and he was married, and he was active. I mean, like bad. Married, 2 kids. You know, I don't know if she knew. Eventually, they ended up getting divorced. But I mean, his thing was he just liked women. I mean, it wasn't no, and you wasn't gonna catch him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't. I'm not saying she ever caught. She never, because I don't know. I wasn't in their household like that. But I mean, like, too depend. There's different avenues, different ways, excuses. Being in the military, you see certain. I mean, to me, I mean that's like probably one of the easiest way to get away with cheating. I mean, because you have so many things that take you away from the house. It becomes a norm. Being gone sometimes is the norm. Yeah. Anything that takes you away from the house on a regular, and you accept that, it gives you it puts you in the opportunity to do that. So that's one side of I think, if that answers your question. The other side, I mean, you have those individuals like you said that love their wife, that man worship the ground that she worked on. They don't want to get caught. So it may be if they have a trip or what, they may go out. It may be a business one-time thing, and it's done. You know, but if I believe, me personally, if you start continuing over and over and over with the same person again, you're gonna get caught. Because you're gonna get. You don't. Yeah, I mean, we all human. You know what I'm saying? I don't like dogs. I don't like animals, but I guarantee you, if you give me one long enough and he come around, you know, eventually you're gonna start. You know what I'm saying? Petting whatever.
Get up with fleas.
So.
Some cases are also guys not happy. They're not happy, but they don't. The communication with their wife or girlfriend or whatever is not good enough. So they just basically go out and just do what they do.
So they make an excuse.
But like
they
you said-
really want to get
Like
caught.
you said, they want to get caught.
Yeah, they make a situation.
Basically,
Now,
to
they
get out.
make situations to create chaos so they can get out instead of being mature enough to convey what they're feeling and who they are, which I think is so cowardly. However, I mean, it is because I would rather you to tell me the truth and me cry for days or cry over it to get over it than for you to sit in my face over and over
and embarrass you over and over.
Yes, and not say anything. I'd rather go through that pain of the truth than to live in a lie.
Just say, hey, baby, they ain't
Have you
gonna
ever
work.
heard this before?
I can't fix it by just saying, yeah, I slept with 30 women.
Yeah, I never heard that one.
That's what that means.
But why would you lie to? Because you don't want to hurt them. But at the same time, you are hurting.
Why are you
them.
hurting
It just
them?
doesn't make
So you gonna hurt them worse.
That's everybody.
Listen, even though it don't make sense, sometimes things just don't make sense. And that's just the way it is.
Okay.
What you said?
Sometimes things don't make sense, but it's just the way it is.
So when you said you weren't happy, what defines your happiness?
It's all
cheated.
circumstantial,
You cheated.
like just different circumstances.
I need
this
a
podcast-
cheater. I
this
need a
podcast-
cheater that's not married. to
But
say.
this podcast is about spilling the honey, and the honey
It is.
that the girl wasn't giving to me was a little bit more sweeter someplace else.
So what defines your sweetness though? I mean, what is it? Is it reality? Is it not reality? Because there's no perfect situation.
What you're trying to do, it seems like what we're trying to do is find a reason for why.
Yeah.
And we can
never-
go around this
yes,
room
it's
and
never
everybody
a
can
reason.
have that. I grew up in the house, my uncle cheated, my boys cheated, this is just why. There is no reason for why that everyone in this room is going to agree with.
Right.
The bottom line is you have to be careful on who you deal with and be true to yourself.
Right.
There are certain things people going to deal with and certain things people aren't going to deal with.
Right.
What are your deal breakers?
Right.
Is the person, if he cheated, is this going to be the person that I know is going to work to get us back right? And if he's not, am I willing to walk away from it?
Right. That's true.
And I think I just want to, just interject on that. And I think on a man's perspective, and he mentioned about being in the military. I retired out the military myself, and I used to hear all the guys when we would go out to sea, and you would see how married men act and operate out to sea. And if you're in the military or we're in the military, you know what I'm talking about. It was the adventure part of it. Men look at it as trying to get a woman as an adventure, as a test or a task to see if I can get with that. Right. If I still, exactly. If you still got it. I mean, like Nina said, there's no excuse or reasoning behind whether you're a woman or man and cheat. It's all about how you feel about yourself.
Right.
You gotta, cause if you feel like the one you married is the one you want to be with, then there should be no question about you trying to go find someone else.
Yeah.
Now, like my man said about the sweeter the berry and all this from other places, sometimes as a man, that's when the adventure come in. Cause that berry may be sweet, but at the end, it could be terribly ripe. And you could come, I know people that have been married and went out and had an affair, and not only just an affair, been with a woman and developing a relationship with an extra woman, and come to find out she gave him DD. And not only did he give him DD, what did you think he did? He gave it to his wife. So how? There's no reason behind it. My big thing is, and hearing all the answers and different ways on how people see stuff, it's just that don't do it.
Yeah.
God gives us a sense of purpose about, especially when we bring a wife in our lives. So if we looking at that woman and she's saying she's our rib and everything, all the nice things we said to her when we was trying to get with her, then what changed? That's when we have to look at, in a relationship, I believe, that we have to look at both parties have to look at each other. What is making me not want to love you the way I used to be? How we were when we work, and things like that we need to work on. Instead of just saying, well, hey, you ain't giving me what I want when I'm in the bed with you, so I got Cindy or Patricia over here that she can do everything that I want. Like he said, rub my legs a different way than what you do at home.
Okay, so but what about, and that's really good what you're saying. What about when the man says, okay, he says that to you. Women, we do everything. We cook, we clean, we tire. So, of course, it ain't the same. In the beginning, you might have been having sex every day. Now, children and this, so now you're going down to 3 weeks.
That's
so,
an excuse.
That's an excuse.
That's an excuse.
Well, I need you to get in that kitchen and clean and wash them clothes equally. Then we might can get some more days in that bedroom. But my thing is,
hold on, why you say you might be able to get some?
Right.
No, I'm saying because I may be tired. Is what I'm saying.
You said get in the kitchen, cook and clean, then we might be able to get in the bedroom.
No, I said if he comes and equally does it together, then we'll be able to.
No, you said we might.
Well, I ain't mean to say might.
I'm just asking.
No. I'm glad you said that. I ain't mean to say might. We would be able to. But what I was leading to say was, okay, he presents this to you. He says, I want it more. You attempt to change. But then that person is saying, oh, you only doing it because I said it. Well, of course.
No, but see, that's the thing.
It's like, it's never a win-win.
Anytime if that's the case, that shouldn't be a feeling like that then. That should be a mutual agreement between what y'all both feel like comfortable in doing. in that area, in that arena,
And
to
that's
please
all
each
areas
other.
though, not just in the bedroom. What about, like she's talking about clean? Let's talk about it through the whole dynamic or scope of the relationship. Not just in the bedroom, you want more, but I'm cleaning and cooking and acting like a slave, and you ain't doing no part.
Right.
So that's when
you saying.
Like you in that aspect here is communication. Then.
Well, she said that, yeah.
Well, I remember Pastor, when I was going through the divorce, Pastor Strickland said this, and he was basically saying, you know, I was having the same problem with my ex-husband or whatever. He was like, she not doing this and whatever. And he was telling, he's like, well, if you want something, you have to free up the time and assist her with what she has going on so she can rest properly, so she can give it to you. So you can't expect a woman to work 40 hours, cook, clean, wash clothes, take care of kids, and then swinging on poles at night at 12 o'clock while you been set up all day with your remote and your beer. If you want it, if you want it, it's got to be something mutual. It's a give and a take. This is what I want. This is what I need. You know what I'm saying? But I'm willing to go pick the kids up, maybe you yes.
That was wrong. I think in most relationships, nobody communicates.
Right.
You know, nobody sits down and learn each other. You have to rewind and learn each other over again. What was it that made us come together?
Right.
What did we do? What we used to do? Because we getting up in age. I mean, you say I'm older now, and I'm at this moment in my life. We all are at of age past than when we got married. You know,
people change. You change.
Right. Things change. Exactly. Times change. Look at the environment now. How the culture is. You know what's going on. What's really going on in your mind as far as a woman. We know, men know what y'all go through. We appreciate that, and sometimes I believe what women don't realize. I'm not sure, but I hear a lot of men talk about it. But I feel that most men try to read a woman's actions, and when they say, "Hey, what's wrong?" y'all don't say nothing. Yeah. Y'all keep it bottled up.
Yeah.
Y'all keep it bottled up. And then because
I do that.
He do ask me constantly, what's wrong?
I do, and I always think because we can tell y'all by y'all
don't do this. I can say that for him. He do. He works very hard. I don't have to say nothing, and my husband will come in there. Something wrong. What's wrong? And I say, yeah. But for me, I try to give my husband less stress because I know how stressed I am. So in my mind, I'm praying, God, you give me a peace about this, so I don't have to bring that between me and him.
Yes.
Because I feel like the more you put between each other, it separates you.
Yes.
So I always try to make sure whatever I'm trying to do with him is bringing us closer and not pulling us apart. So a lot of times I will go in my closet and I will try to pray about it and let this thing kind of settle down. And then I come back later. I do, don't I? I call him when I shouldn't call him. He at work. Hey. Then I say something. But I done came down and I'm not puffed up and I'm not all upset anymore so that I can talk about it with him. Then I feel so much better and I be happy.
But how does he feel between that time you're doing it?
But he tell me, he say, hey, I'm here. He tells me.
Yeah.
But I be honest.
Yeah, you say that.
And you know,
I be honest and say,
I don't mind doing that. And see, that's you know,
you learn it.
Right.
Yes,
And you know,
it's right.
as growing up, I see my dad. My dad always was a hard worker. You know, he'd go in the morning, early 7 o'clock, come back at 9 o'clock at night, and I seen him do that. So when I grew up, I knew that's how I provide for my family. He provided for my mom. He took care of my sister. So I saw that in my dad. So I said I always wanted, when I got older, I didn't have my family. That's what my perception was. I put myself in a position where, right. And you know why? Because there's no more morals about themselves. You know, there's no more accountability. Right. Nobody holds, you know, even in marriages, you know, if for a man to actually sit down and mess with another woman, that means he's already been doing it, and he was already doing it before y'all really got together. That's why I always feel that when a man and a woman, when you're dating, that should be something right before any type of hand holding or anything, y'all should have a deep dive with each other to find out what's going, what this person really is. Because everybody can give the good persona that, hey, he's a good man or a good person or a good woman.
Right.
You know, that, I mean, even some women, portray themselves to be something that they really aren't. But then, like we always say, I can change that man.
Right.
If he get married, God will help me change him. You know, it won't work that way. Because you can say as much as you want that brother or sister to change, they not, because it's the environment we all grew up in. If we grew up in that environment, like my brother said, that if you see it a lot constantly going on, then that's what's going to gravitate to you, and you're going to feel like that's the norm. So it's okay to have a little girl on the side, like my sister said right here. It was okay to have a woman. Always keep a woman on the side. I was dumbfounded when you said that, because I've never heard of that. Be honest with you, I never heard someone say always keep, because I never grew up that way. You know, I never had an uncle. All my uncles were good men. I never had an uncle tell me, hey, son, nephew, make sure you got a woman on the side, because that one you got ain't gonna be enough. Or something like that.
You ever heard the statement, the same thing, they never let your left hand know what your right hand do?
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, even if growing in a home and you see things like that, the thing about growing up in a home is you see it from different perspectives.
Right.
You not only see the person that's doing it, but you also see the person that it's affecting. So we can say, oh, I grew up and this is what I saw and this is what I thought was okay. But if you think about everything that you saw this person who was getting this done to you, you know that hurt. So why would you conceptualize and think it's okay to give that hurt to someone else when you've seen someone that you love experience that hurt?
That's why I say it does.
So it's about choices. It's about choices.
The way you grew up has nothing to do with it, because you, like I said, like you said, you saw both sides, and you making that conscious effort to. That's what you want to. You're choosing to do wrong. Is basically what it boils down to. Because again, like I'll keep going back to it. You know, if you steal, there's consequences. Either I can go to jail, I can get caught, and get shot. You know that. You know, if you cheat, I can get caught, I can catch a disease, AIDS, I can die. I'm okay with that. It was what you're not saying that verbally, but internally, because you continue to do what you're doing, you're okay with that.
Right.
You have to be okay with that, because you continue to do wrong. You continue.
Yeah.
But
Go back and say when you say with marriage too, like Carl and Charles were talking, if you're really connected with your spouse and you're one like you should, you're going to know something, and he's going to know something just like you're going to know something, because you are one. The problem is we don't have intimacy anymore. We don't have connection anymore. Everything is so like social media. Everybody's so fake, and everything is so this, that you really don't have the true intimacy connection, because it takes a woman too and a man to love one person for a lifetime. Takes all your body, soul, mind, will, and emotion when done correctly. Because you have to fight all these outside forces, all these handsome men, all these beautiful women, and you have to make a choice to bypass all these and come home to your family and serve your wife, or serve your husband, or serve your children, and be an example to your community, example in your church, example your job, or whatever. It takes everything within you to do it. So it's easier to cheat. It's easier to step out than it is to be faithful.
But I disagree, man. I totally disagree. You know why I disagree? Because I think it's the easiest being married. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Depends on the person you with.
And here's why. Because
more work.
That's work. Yeah, it's just like lying. You gotta lie. You gotta tell another lie to cover up another lie.
I think what I'm saying is to give everything. I'm not saying marriage is hard. I'm not saying that if that's what I said.
No. I don't know if you said that. No.
I'm saying that when you're really trying to build something and build something important for the future, it takes everything. Going to work,
but
mentally.
But you're happy to do that. When the person cheats, they have to find out, how can I call you? Where can I call you? Where can I see you? That's work.
That's work.
This is what you're talking about as a marriage.
But what I think you're thinking about what I'm saying is that to stay connected in the proper way with your family takes everything. It's easier to cheat. You ain't got to really think about it. You ain't got to be connected. I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to call you. Meet me over here in the corner. Do whatever. Meet me at the hotel. That's a phone call.
But to build something with your family, your wife, I gotta go take my wife, we're going to dinner, we're gonna do this, and I'm not saying it's hard, I'm just saying to do it correctly and do it with what's in you, it takes, you know,
it's
it
easier
takes.
for a woman than a man. Because a woman can call any man and that man gonna come to him. A man can call 10 women, maybe 1 of the 10 men.
I'm not saying man.
I'm telling you, it's easier
You
for
said
a
all
woman.
10 to come.
This guy told me on my job. He's a single man. Actually, he's a single man.
Can't leave my brother alone.
He has 3 women.
On his phone, he out there in the streets.
He's in his 30s. He's probably like 33, 34. Yeah, he works at UPS, and he works at where I work at. You know, exactly. He got all that going, and he got 3 women.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, everybody says it's harder to cheat. No, it's not. Not in this day and time.
Oh, not in this day.
Not in this day and time. If it's easier. That's why I say men are adventurous. So to him, it's an adventure.
It's a thrill.
It's a thrill. Because he can call any one of them girls he messing with, and they'll have them come over to his house, to their house.
Oh yeah,
But you
know what I'm saying?
That's 3, right?
That's it could, how many you want?
No, what I'm saying.
What he's saying is that you can pick them 3 that he with right now, but he can't go out there. He ain't gonna go out there and find, because you know, I'm just gonna. In the back of the day mentality, you be like, I'm gonna go to the club. If somebody don't want to go home with me, I may have to talk to 50 girls to find the one to go to home with. A woman ain't got to talk to 50 men.
Yes, you don't.
A woman ain't got to talk to 50 men to find
I don't know, y'all
But back in the days,
I don't understand.
back in the days,
You
what
understand?
Brandon told
Y'all
us.
being too
Back in the days, these women
That's
also
true.
knew their
No,
husband
it's
had
not.
It is true.
women too. Because my grandma told us.
I guarantee you.
What did my grandma
I feel like
tell
y'all
us?
are-
She said, I knew he was cheating. I knew he was cheating with the lady right down the street. She said, all
But
he
he
got
bought
to
the
do is
check
bring
home
that
to
check
me.
home.
That's what my grandma said. She knew he was cheating with the man on the other side of the road.
You better than me, cause I ain't.
They didn't
You
care.
better than me, cause I
They didn't care
They
about me.
didn't have as much.
You go to the
I feel like I'm
That's
well
another
aware that
thing.
it's easier
So
for
this
me to
new
get a
generation
man
now-
than it is for him to go out there
Yeah,
and try to
because
get one.
those
That's
men
not what
work.
she's saying. To make the conscious decision to cheat is easier than staying in a coveted marriage
Right.
and using your all to be married and
it's not.
It is.
It is not.
It's both of the decisions.
Like you
It's
just
easy.
said, it was the heat of the moment. The situation, y'all drinking and it's the heat of the moment. It was not hard for you to make that conscious decision to go
There
cheat.
was no
It was the
conscious
heat of the
decision.
moment.
At the end of the day, it's still easy to just to stay home.
Yeah,
It's easy to stay
easy.
home. It's harder to create lies,
It's
to make
easy. It's easy.
a whole
It's easy to
itinerary.
stay
Okay,
home.
she gonna be here, so let me go over here while she's there.
It's easy to stay home, but it's not easy to be married.
Bring it back.
Everybody talking
Let's bring it back to the casino. We got like 37 conversations going on.
So yeah, I think she's gonna look out. If she did get it. But it's more like if you show her attention, any woman loves attention. What woman in here don't love attention?
I guarantee you. No.
No. What woman in here does not love
They
attention?
do, but they might not like attention from you. I can say, listen, I'm just trying to tell you. You can have 10 men right here, and try to talk to 3 of y'all, and one of y'all might give him a time of day. One of y'all might. It don't care about his money, whatever. It don't matter. Some of y'all might want to go for a man's money. Some of y'all might not want to go for a man's money. But it's a lot easier for a woman to date than it is a man. It's a lot easier.
All a woman has to do is just be easy. Men gotta be attractive. We gotta have a job. We gotta have all a woman has to do is just be easy. Men, they have to dress nice. They have to have good game. They gotta have a job. They gotta have a good conversation. If a girl is easy,
Can't go to the cheesecake factory.
I love cheesecake factory.
But no, statistically speaking, it's more women who are single than men. So it's easy
Because
for
there's
a
more
man to
women.
go.
What statistics
No,
say?
Yes.
No,
And then
statistics-
men have certain standards that they want. A certain girls
Right.
look like this,
Mm.
whatever. But women,
Right.
a lot of times we go for the personality. He funny. Oh.
Right.
Certain things. And men,
Hey, that is not, listen, that is not,
Yes, it is.
listen, I'm telling you something, listen to what I'm telling you.
Physical attraction, listen,
That's
physical
not
attraction
true.
is always first between
For
a
a
man
man.
and a woman.
A
It's the
man.
same- for both. Because you can't say, oh, I love this person. He ain't talk to you. You just
Yeah,
say
exactly.
that. So physical attraction is always going to be the first between a man and a woman, no matter
And
what.
I want to say with marriage, it's an investment.
It is.
It's truly an investment. You got to know how you want to put your stock in there. And it work. And sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. It takes a lot of work for marriage. But you got to have the mindset that when I make this investment, I'm not
That's
going to
it.
back out. I'm
That's
going
all
to
you
take
do.
this all the way through. And you got to go with
Yep.
the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as you get older, me and Charles are married 35 years. Now in our marriage, it's not where we was when we were younger. You start realizing how important it is to make your marriage work, not just for just you two, but for, like she said, the whole thing. You get to the point where you say, I'm not gonna keep investing myself here, investing myself there, investing myself over here as a woman. I'm not talking for a man, as a woman. I know it's 3 single women here, right here. You married, okay, 2 single women.
I'm
Oh,
single.
Two single. So, you know, and then I'm gonna say this,
Oh, yeah.
my husband is younger than me. But our marriage, as time has gone on, we starting to learn more about it. So when you're younger, you're kind of dealing with each other and all that goes on in a relationship. But as you get older, you start realizing what's important. You don't, it's not cheating. It's more like taking care of each other.
Right.
You okay? Like he doing me. You start paying attention to the things that mean more to you now than it did back then. When you young, you get mad. You won't talk about 3 or 4 days. Me and him can get in a disagreement. You ready to eat? We ain't finna go no 4 or 5 days.
Ain't nowhere to go. It can come back on, save me a little bit. I'll just save me
It's gonna
some.
be a deal breaker at that time. You can't do no deal breaker. We got to sit down and say, hey.
I just still think it's different now. Like I
It
think
is.
women have, they're
But the
more educated
generation-
now.
That
They
has nothing
have
to do
more
with it.
money now.
Nobody cares.
But that's
Yes,
what's
it is.
wrong.
Men don't care about none of that.
I'm not saying what men care. I'm
You
saying
cannot
women
let your
not
money
like they're
run
not
you.
sticking. The
Your
marriages
money
aren't
can take
sticking
care of
anymore.
Okay, because of
goods
that.
and
A lot of
services
women
only.
stayed back in the days because they didn't have the job or the man was the provider. Now women got just as much, so they don't take
And
all
there's more
that.
divorced women now than there's been in
It
history.
is.
But see,
Because of
that's
that.
what's wrong.
But
Why
why-
the goods and services should not be a part of
No,
the
no,
marriage.
women found
Yeah,
70-80% of divorces.
and I don't think nobody-
Women found 70-80% of the time of divorces. You're
Yes,
aware of
I
that.
believe that.
Okay, they don't want to break up the family. You do know that. That's the truth. 70-80% of divorces are caused by women.
Yeah, because y'all cheated.
exactly.
Y'all cheated.
In the heat of the moment, y'all cheated.
Or got that same girl in the apartment.
Do you know that just as many women cheat on men and men cheat on women? Are you also aware of that?
I don't think so.
Look at statistics. Look at it. It does.
I think
Oh,
so
my
now
God.
that
Yeah.
society has changed.
No.
Yeah, because if you're talking about like I think this is a group of women that's like established. You know what you want. You know what you ain't gonna do.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But
they say
now.
Yeah, they be like, I'm gonna do it just like they do it.
I think women make
That's
sense.
what Beyonce.
Because they are.
But that's what I say. They like him say. But they married. But you married. But you teaching each other.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they found more for divorce is what I'm saying. I said there's more single women than there ever been
Because
before.
women are tired of putting up with the things.
That's not always. No.
Okay, so here's my question. Here's my question. Women are tired. So, speaking as a woman, why have we as women allowed ourselves to lower our standards to be sneaky links and side chicks and baby mamas and not require the respect of a man. Men are responding to how we actually have perceived or conceptualized ourselves.
Yeah.
Men have been doing their thing, you know, I take care of the bills or whatever the case may be. I take care of the bills. As long as I take care of the bills, he good or whatever the case may be. Now he ain't even got to take care of the bills. Sometimes we as women, we always want to say men, but as women, we need to kind of start looking at how we move too.
Right. That's true. But we already talked about the accountability, and when you're speaking about is something different than what I was speaking about. When you're talking about baby mamas and sneaky links, that would be more what I call a pick-me, a woman who just wants a man and lowers her standards to get a man. But the conversation that we were talking about was about marriage and cheating and stuff like that, and why more women are divorcing.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
We're making actually two different points. So I totally understand what you said. I'm speaking of the point of, I understand what you said about marriage. What I'm saying, we as women, we need to look at the standards that we are setting.
Right, I agree.
And the ideology of what we putting out there. You know what I'm saying? What we are willing to accept.
I think some women do that though because they feel like if I don't lower my standards, it's kind of almost like that. It's kind of almost like that Tyler Perry thing, that thing that everybody making a big deal about. If you don't lower your standards, then you gonna be out here single anyway because your standards so high, can't no man meet them.
So here's the thing. It's like, I disagree. So here's the thing. Like I have all girls. All girls.
Hold on. Before you get to your next point, let me take a brief intermission real quick. Hold on, I gotta stop.
When you was in your 20s.
Oh, I
Now,
break
when I
over
was
with.
in my you know,
Right.
dealt with each other, all of that, like it wasn't a deal breaker, but now experience, life,
Right.
growing up,
Right.
maturing,
Right.
evolving,
There you go.
it's different.
There you go.
It is.
Okay, so back to your point, you say you got 4 girls.
Three girls.
Oh, 3 girls. Okay.
No, so this is what I tell all of them, man. I said, hey, and some of you may feel the same way, you may agree, disagree, but you're young, and I think somebody else said it earlier today, like, men will adapt to whatever standard whatever you set, whatever expectation a woman set. You have so much power. Sometimes I don't think, not you all, but sometimes I don't think women realize the power that they have. So I tell all my, because I have girls, and I say, hey man, look, set your standards. I mean, if you, whatever, 19, 25, 30, whatever, do you want to date a guy with kids? Do you want to deal with, baby mama drama? Do you want him to be 6'6"? Do you want him to be 5'10"? Do you want him to be short? Whatever. Do you want him to be educated, God-fearing? Whatever your standards are, set that. But then hold them accountable. If it doesn't fall within your standards, now you have to be able to move on.
That's right.
You can't be, well, man, he fine, but he got, man, his baby mama a trip. So now are you gonna accept that drop?
See, now that's lowering standards right there.
But here's what I think happens. That's it. All right, I don't want to know. I'm dating. I'm 20, so he can't have no kids. Hopefully he's got to have a job. Car, whatever the case may be. So what happens is, man, that clock starts ticking.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm 30.
Yeah.
Okay, he can have 1 kid. Standards start dropping.
That's true.
Okay, man.
35.
35, 40. Well, if he's looking for a job, we all right. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's real. And it kind of lean over here though, kind of like leaning over here to what you said, kind of almost like a pick me, like okay, let me just pick him. Just because he,
because you feel like instead of
time running out,
instead of you waiting on him to show you, when I say instead of you waiting on him, you try to take matters into your own hands and start removing things from that maybe he put on your list. Yeah. You try to, and you know what they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. You know what I'm saying? So
I think there's a pressure on women to get married.
Huh?
Because they have a timeline.
Right. You're supposed to meet these certain expectations by a certain age, or that's what they feel they should.
Right.
So that's why they start
That's
lowering
the
their
culture.
standards.
I think that's what she said. Like, you got to know yourself. Like, me as a person, I don't let society put pressure on me.
And I don't think that's society. I think that's a pressure that women put on themselves. Because nowadays, there ain't no pressure to get married.
Because there's other people
talk
about is it just in our culture?
No, because
as black,
because a lot of other cultures.
females,
cultures too, they get it about worse than that.
Yeah, they raised to be married.
Yeah, most of them arranged.
Most, yeah.
Yeah, they get arranged.
I mean, I feel
Blacks
like
are
now
pretty much
society
raised to
either
be.
way, if you single and you content with that,
That's
like
a
I feel
fact.
like you shouldn't settle. That's fine. Like it's no problem. And then if you married, like she was saying, like you do the work, and it is work, like because you change over time. Like me and Nikki was talking, like what me and him was when we met. We
No,
ain't
what
the
I
same people.
Exactly.
Like and then I know we won't be the same people, so it's gonna be communication.
Yeah.
If you spiritual Christian, like we keep God in the center of our marriage, keep your family like your business. It just depends on the person, but I don't think whether you single or married, like you as long as you happy with yourself. Okay.
And what you said, and sometimes like, I know Carla was saying they've been married for quite some time. Rich and Harvey have been married for quite some time too. I think when you first start out with that standard, we're gonna stick it out and we're gonna work it through. Now the culture is lax. So it's easier now to step
When
out.
you take that off, I was gonna say, when you
know,
take divorce off the table, I think it's easier. If
Yeah,
you-
it is easier,
you
but I'm
remove
saying that
option.
even though, like you're saying, you may go through that up or down in your marriage, but at one time it wasn't the standard that was outside of that. The women didn't have a lower standard. So now, if it's the man or the woman, the standard is so low now that I don't really have to stick it out. I can go ahead and pick and choose this. You
But
know what
men
I'm
can't
saying?
pick and choose
It's
like
kind of
that.
easier. Huh? Men can't. But you just said that.
No, I never said men can pick and choose. I said women can pick and choose.
But what I'm saying is what she
I
was
never
saying.
said all
It just
men
kind of made me
too.
think when she
Huh?
said
I
that to
think
stick
y'all
it
men
out
too.
and work it out in this culture at this age. Sometimes it's easier to let it go because there's so much other things out
Well,
there.
when I say
than
stick
what's
it out,
out.
work it out, I don't mean like a divorce is an option. I mean like you just work through your differences because people evolve over time, and you're gonna be forever evolving in your
Sure
marriage.
is.
I'm a marriage-
You're gonna
a
be
marriage
forever
constantly
getting to know,
evolves.
relearn your partner
Right.
because
Every
you're
day.
different.
Every
So
day.
when I say stick it out, I mean really just doing the work and learning and being okay with doing that work, not stick it out like you just
Oh no,
settling or
no, I
something.
wasn't saying that about what you're thinking. I'm just saying the pressures outside of that. When you still working through it, it's easier now, to step out than
You
to stick
jump
with the
ship.
pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's in this culture that we have now, it's easier to do that because the standards are lower. People are settling and they're saying, hey, I can go out here and get what I want. Ain't no sense of me staying here. I already did it 20 years. I don't even have to do it 25 years. I can go here and get me a young hottie, or I can get me this and that. And you know what I'm saying? The pressures outside of it has lowered its standards that if you don't have that divorce, as he said, off the table, it's easier now to just jump ship.
Yeah, I ain't got time.
I'm noticing with me doing hair, it is a lot of young women that have lowered their standards, and it's because of, like you said, the culture. I have people I do hair, man don't work, come 2 hours later pick you up from the
And
salon,
driving your car.
driving your car.
That's been going on. I'm 62.
And they
So they ain't just started.
No, I'm not saying it what's going on. It has gotten worse.
Us older ones have high standards and we're single.
Right, but the younger
Is the
women
standards too high?
is getting to the
My
point
standards
where,
ain't high.
and they make
I
their
just
standards.
don't see
The standards are always for you. Right.
And maybe I ain't in the right
talking.
place.
She talking.
Go ahead.
They make their standards on social media. Because social media has damaged women so much.
It has.
I went to a hair show where the lady told me she wasn't talking to me. And it offended me because she was unrealistic what she was saying. That's not how life goes. But I was the oldest person in the building. So I'm saying they look at social media and see these marriages where these people are getting married, breaking up, going with somebody else, doing this, taking this person that went to jail. All of these standards have dropped, not because of being at home or being with their families. It's because social media has damaged. Now I can go on there like she said. I'm not popular, but I go to Colorado, wear a nice outfit, put my hair long, do this across my leg. Oh, they want to come get their hair done by you. Because they think that, and she got a husband and her kids with her. So they see this. Now they're showing on social media a whole family dancing, whole family eating together. You think it's perfect, but we only see what social media
That's
shows.
fake.
So that's why a lot of young people want to get, they result in having bad marriages and a lot of cheating because they show too much of social media as easy going as it's just, you swimming through. And it's not, that's not the way it is.
Let me tell you what my son said. I said, get them up. My son said, these women out here nowadays, all they do is want your money.
And it's
But
true.
what money?
Seriously,
Like
No,
what?
no, okay, what money? Y'all not paying for nothing.
But what
The
was
money they can save is your
I
money.
pay all of them.
The money you can save is your money. It's their money.
For young
Like,
women that's
it's
on
still.
social media, you get all the boobs and the butts and the stuff they that's what we talking about. He's talking about real women.
Yeah, they want
That's
the money to pay
social
for.
media women. Like that lady call them Generation Z's. That's what he's talking about. The Generation Z's want the money. That's the one.
But they get the
I
budget
feel
jack.
like-
Yeah, but don't blame
I
me.
feel like no, not you, because you passed the Generation Z. You ready for a relationship?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Men
you
still
need
come
them.
at it and they look at all women because just like you said, men like young men like Caleb, which I don't even know why Caleb ain't down here because I just saw him. But but like that, I know I saw him. But like men like him. I think it's the type of women that you go for too. Like it's the type of women that you go for. Them girls that you like, them girls that you looking at, them girls that catch your attention, them Instagram girls. Of course they don't want your money. The girl that really, really wants you for you, that's the one you looking past.
But that's right. But that's not. But you know what? That's how
But then,
life
but
is.
why? Yeah, exactly. But why blame all women for what you choosing to focus on? Change the focus.
That's the same thing for women, for men as well.
Right.
But you got to understand too. Like you say, certain people fit in a certain category, right? And this what fit in his category. See what I'm saying?
What you mean?
What fit
What do
in
you
your
mean? That's
category? You
hold
gonna
on.
deal with it.
What do you mean? That's what fit in this category?
No, what I'm basically saying to you is, like you say, a lot of times, okay, men like certain women.
Yeah.
Right.
There are certain women that they respect, and there are certain women they don't respect.
Yeah, when they carry
Regardless,
themselves, you
right,
can tell.
right.
Yeah.
So those women are the women that he would respect, are also the women that get a lot of men hollering at them. So when you get a lot of people hollering at you, guess what comes with that territory? It's a match on, he gonna get you this, if you don't get it, somebody else will.
Right.
And that's what it goes, because the more men that like you, the more you feel better about yourself, because they like you, and there's more things you can get from people because more people like you.
That's only if you're insecure.
Well, a lot of people are insecure.
Yeah, I mean to some degree, but not everybody's not insecure
Well, we
like
never
that.
No. Right. There's never nothing with everybody to anything to say. What I'm saying to you is the women that he comes across like that. Because there's women he talked to that don't do that. But there's women, a lot of women that does do that. Let's face it, the prettier you are, the more advantages you do have. Let's face it.
No, I think
the
the
more
more
confident
a woman
and
can
purposeful.
reveal.
That's after the fact.
No, it's to the fact now. I think more women, men are
Like you said,
visual
physical attraction.
people, right? Physical attraction.
Yeah.
Visual men look at women as what they got to offer from the neck down.
Yeah.
It ain't they ain't got to have no. They can be all this can be all tore all up in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm not saying, whatever. But I'm speaking for a fact. I see women come in there and they look tore up from here on up. But they'll come in there with spandex on so tight, you could almost like, dang, what kind? Do you have any underwear on? But that's what most women feel like they have to do to attract. So you'll be surprised how many dudes that work. Man, you see that?
She fine.
Right. She that's what I want.
But listen,
I can get with that.
What you're talking about is the persona of what they did to show their body. I'm talking about a natural, beautiful woman. She don't have to do that. What I'm saying, a natural, beautiful. What I'm saying,
I know.
if you go to the club, and they got
That's what's
photo.
wrong as you going to the club.
Wrong.
That's where the man said, that's where the men mess up. But when we were young, that's when we hung out in. The flyers is all trying to take.
And that's what the young kids they got in.
But no. They don't even go to the club no more.
It's not called club, it's called what?
I got guys. They got one. It's an app. POF.
Oh, Penny
I ain't got to go to the club. The dude tell me he pop up that. Look, man, look all these girls. And they're not ugly women. That's
the new way of dating.
Most right.
That's the new way of dating.
That's the new way today. Nobody don't go to the clubs or they ain't got to the house parties no more. You ain't got to do all that. They just pick up that app And they say, hey, you gotta look up. You even gotta go clean up fish. You can go on the TVs now. They got all these dating services and all this.
Facebook got dating apps.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Facebook dating apps.
There's no more work no more. There's no more. I ain't gonna say work, but there's no more
Conversation.
There's no right. You gotta no drive. You know, like you're saying, you see natural beauty.
No hunt.
You know, everybody. It's hard to find a natural, beautiful black woman. Not saying it's not hard, but I'm just saying, what you look at, who said Cardi B? All that stuff. Women look at that, and they feel that's the first thing they got to attract.
But then, Charles, guess what? Some of the men attracted to that, they don't even know what
Because they don't like twerking.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. And they see a real natural, beautiful black woman, they're like, nah, you ain't got enough. It ain't enough. So what that woman do? Oh, okay, I'm gonna go get my breast uplifted. And I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna get some injections and all that stuff.
That's her inner struggle. If she has to feel like she got to change herself to attract a man, that's her somebody else.
No, it's not even that.
Can't blame it on men.
I disagree. You got older women do that too.
I said it's more younger women get it done.
Right, and then when they don't have to, but the persona is, that's the perception. Everybody, that's the thing to do.
Right.
You know, that's the thing to get the injection of the lips. Cause you know, you get, not even as black women, black women don't have to do that, but they do.
Because it's a lot cheaper now, because at first it used to cost a lot of money.
It used to.
Right.
You can get it now you can, don't have makeup now, you can put it on your lips and make your lips look big. I don't know.
And believe it or not, men don't even care.
Right.
That's the sad part about it. Men don't even care.
Exactly.
I think women do it for each other.
That's what they do for.
I really feel like we be in competition looking at each other. Because I hear so many men say they don't care about no weave, no lashes, and we still be getting them, and they be big, and they'll sit on there and be like calling the women snuffleupagus and all this, and they still be wearing them. I'm like, I don't understand.
We don't care.
I just think women need to be, like you said, if you're a natural beauty, it's all about what's on the inside. It's how you feel about yourself on the inside.
That's what I say about insecure.
Right, it's men as well. I know most men, we gotta go to the gym, we gotta, cause we want to impress that woman. You know, we want to make sure that woman look. I heard Ricky Smiley, we was at a concert, me and my wife, we was at a concert, and Ricky Smiley said, I ain't got to go out there, and he punched the stomach got real big, so you know, I got a mortgage apartment. Most women look at that, and most women, I ain't gonna say all women, but most women look and see what a man has to offer as far as what he can provide.
But let's chime in on that, because now you have the homosexuals, is what they call them.
The what?
That means all they do is the woman got her stuff, you know, hey, mortgage, apartment, grocery in the refrigerator, McDonald's, cook a meal. You got now that women, we have to be careful, single women that have gone out and accomplished and working, not even just doing life. And you meet these guys that now look at you and what you have. And now they're saying, hey, you got a house, all I'm going to bring is my sex. Right. And that's what they call a homosexual. I got my bag and all I got is my sex. Homosexual. That's all I have now.
But then that's kind of what a standard thing. That's when a woman needs to maintain her standards. You know, and start telling young, you know, hey, you ain't got, if you ain't got this going for you, you ain't got a job.
But then
just put it out there in the front.
Then they say, no, like Tyler Perry, you got to lower your standards. Now, which one it is?
Right.
You know, that goes
But you got to ask yourself, what do you want to do in life? That's the key thing. Do you want to be single for the rest of your life? If you have
to make that choice.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to be single for the rest of your life, then guess what? And you have to get this, then it's fine.
Well, no, the thing is, you may not want to be. But
you have to make a choice. Why does it have to be one? But why you have to say, does it have to be single? That's not, the issue is not single. You have to be happy with yourself.
Well, I understand it.
So single has nothing to do with it.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying in life is what do you want to be in life? Do you want to be with somebody or not with somebody?
That has nothing to do with it. So, do I want to be happy or do I not want to be happy? Does happy mean being by myself and finding happiness with somebody? Or if happiness means later on, but you can't define being single as unhappy or getting with somebody you're gonna be happy, because we just talked about cheating. So the person, male, female, you first got to be happy with yourself.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, right, which is true. All I'm saying to you is, okay, after I'm happy with myself, do I want to be with somebody or do I not want to be with somebody? Because that's the next step.
I think it's do you want to be happy with yourself and letting God, the universe, or whatever chime in on where He wants you to be. The first step is to be happy with who you are. If I'm not happy with me, and it's just so sad that society sees single women as something's wrong with us because we're single. Like you must be damaged. Your standards must be too high. Your expectations must be. It's some single women out here. We happy and living our lives and doing better than married women. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about do I want to be happy and single or do I want to be happy by myself? I want to be happy with me first. Whatever stage, and that's my prayer. Whatever stage God chooses to put me in, Lord, give me the peace to be happy with me first.
That's how you should be anyway.
Yeah. Right. So don't look at it as
so then
happy.
everything else falls into place. If you're happy, you're not chasing. I'm happy. I'm living my life. I'm working. I'm playing. I'm content.
Yeah.
If something comes along and blesses and adds to my happiness, I'm good.
God already knows what He's doing, what the needs are.
Right.
So if you stay with, like you say, stay content and work on yourself. So when God put that woman or man in your life, He gonna put the right one in there. And then in the same voice is when God put him in there or her in there, you just saying, hey, this is what I bring to the table. And y'all both share that. Y'all still come out openly. You know, too many people are getting in a relationship and still closing doors on certain things. Then as a relationship go down further, now it will open out.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I didn't know that about you. Why you? Then now it starts to some sores started getting in there. So it starts to fester. Then next thing you know, the trust starts to break. What else you ain't telling me? I can't trust you on that. That's why I believe I believe in everything. You should work on yourself. And then when that right individual does come by, then y'all can open up. And open up truthfully. Be truthful about that.
A lot of people, and I say men and women, they say, oh, this is my standard, the man gotta have this, but you ain't even got this.
Right, exactly.
That's my point.
Right. If you ain't got it, then exactly. Don't fake the fake like that.
But you ain't got it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Don't be faking it. Don't be faking it, then next thing you know, that's when the trust starts to build down. Then as you get older, you may succumb to, well, we can work on that together. We can work on that. And then now y'all together, and then now is what else is now the other issues come up. Why you didn't tell me about this? Oh, I didn't know your credit score was 415. You had that American Express credit card, and you made me feel like your credit score was higher than mine. I only got a MasterCard. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Even finances hurt a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to be.
That's a big one.
That's the thing. You know, no, it ain't all about the sex. When a woman doing all this, is what you can provide for your wife and being able to say, hey, we got this, we got that, and no hidden. My grandma used to have money tucked in the bed.
It's a man money. You know what you call it?
I was making your bed. I saw this. Boy, put that back down there.
So did you feel like that when you first got married?
What?
What you just said?
Bad money.
No, because as I didn't know at that point, but as you grew together, we started to realize, hey, we got to work together and build the foundation that we want in a relationship, and that's how it always is. I mean, that's the most important thing, man. When people come together as a husband or wife or whatnot, even as you a fiance or whatnot. Work together to build your relationship, to make your relationship stronger. But I always feel like communicate with someone. That's the whole important thing. And also be truthful. You got some, it's hard sometimes, and I remember somebody said something here about it's hard to tell the truth. Someone said would you rather tell the truth?
Oh, you said that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And sometimes it can be hard to tell the truth, but you rather tell the truth because sooner or later, if it comes by and the other person finds out, and that ain't got it's more than just
damage.
About a marriage and infidelity. It can be about finances. You know, what kind of bill? What wasn't getting paid? What wasn't doing this? And then you come back to finance the last moment.
But you're talking at 40, 50, 60, or you're talking if you was 20 or 30.
Yeah. What you saying? that mindset, like that mature mindset, it's like different from a 22, 23. You ain't think about that. That's what I'm saying.
what I said. Like if you talking about
now,
if everybody think before they do something,
15 years in a marriage, then you might as well.
That's with anything. Like it's just that like what everybody's saying is just not logical. It's just
I got a question. You mentioned something earlier I wanted to touch on and get everybody's opinion. So you know how you talked about, because you know y'all talk, you know you get mad, you don't walk around half foot, you know. So I believe, you know, men, we're fixers right now, whatever the case may be. Women, like you said, you go in your room, you pray, you come back, talk about it. So how do y'all feel about that? Because now, like I said, y'all have a lot of power. So men, we want to fix it right now. Hey, let's talk about it right now. Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
But we can't because you don't want to. And it's not going to happen. Until you're ready.
I think it's kind of a personality because you have avoiders, you have vacilators, you have people that have different type of personality.
Yeah.
You may be the male, but you may be a avoider, and you may go, and she may be pursuing you.
Right.
So I think it's the personality trait that that person has and how they learn.
Well, I'm speaking on both sides because the male the female might want to talk right now, and the male may be like, I don't want to talk about it. Right. So what I'm saying is, how do you? So why does it have to be?
I think you need to find that, like we were talking about before you get married, we need to really find out how we function, or our personality.
But it doesn't matter because if that person don't want to talk about it.
But you have to, okay, let's say we go
so
to
then somebody's gonna have to compromise.
In our dating, we really need to have, okay, this is gonna happen, which is not reality because we have. But when you have information, you do better. You know what I'm saying? Now that we have this information, now we can come back to the table. As Charles was saying earlier, maybe we need to come back and face each other. Because sometimes you don't face each other until the wedding. And then now you got this marriage and you don't turn towards each other anymore.
But you had the opportunity to face each other when he or she was trying to talk to you then. But you don't want to face it. You want to wait 4 or 5 days.
I'm talking about like Charles is saying. We're into this now, so we mature now. So now let's come back to the table. How many years? We don't have to just go to the table one time.
Like you got everybody here.
I don't know what we're talking about.
That's what Chevy was saying too. Like I heard you saying something like they had to get to the point.
It took a while to get to that point. You wasn't at 20 and in your 30s thinking like you are now. If you say you are, then that's not true. I don't believe it.
That's true.
So it takes a process to get there.
Yeah.
And with the right couple, the right man and the woman, she can help you get there and you're going to get there together.
Right.
But what you thinking at 50 and 60 is not what you feel.
But at 20 and 30, when you have an issue and you want to talk, I don't care if you're 20 or 30. I don't care if you're 15.
It's still communication.
You don't have to be 30 or 50 to realize I wanted to talk about this right now, not 3 or 4 days.
What if the person that doesn't want to talk needs a process so I don't lash or disrespect?
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's always that tone.
I need to figure out a way how I can talk to my dude about things.
What if the person that needs to get it out right now needs to get it out right now before he goes do something? That don't matter. That can't be like that.
Some people don't know how to talk though. Everybody don't know how to talk. Some people may talk and it make the situation worse because you don't know how to talk.
Right.
Because you want to get it out.
So why can't the person that needs to say, okay, look, why can't you be the bigger person and say, hey, okay, we're gonna talk about it right now. I'm just throwing this out there for conversation and content. I'm not saying that this is the absolute no. What I'm saying is if you need to wait 4 or 5 days, but you know he needs to talk about it now, get it right now. Why does he have to always wait, or why do you have to always wait for him to come out of his funk to talk?
Why can't it's like, baby, you know I'm passionate because that's me. I'm very passionate when I talk. People think I'm arguing. When me and Brittany, for instance, this has nothing to do with relationships, but when me and Brittany do parties, I'm real extra. I'm just over the top extra. So now when I get to a point where I get stressed out, I may yell at her. Before we start, I say, Brittany.
Maybe
will I not say this? No. Before we start, I say, Brittany, if I yell at you, please don't take it personal. She know how I am. So it's one of those things where if you're that passionate person, babe.
And yet I still take it personal because I'm a avoidant person. So that goes back to what she said earlier. You gotta put that on the You gotta put that on the table.
You know how I am. I'm a boy. So we gonna give each other a timeout and then adhere to that. Both of y'all got to come back and no matter how you feel about it, you gotta meet back up in 5 minutes. That's if you make that you know what I'm saying, a part of your relationship, how we're gonna communicate, because we all have faults.
Nobody does that though. Nobody does. You go to your corner and I go to my corner, and in 10 minutes we gonna meet back. That's just not. It's not. Like it's not. Like we sitting in a circle, so we got time to think about what we saying, but it don't. It's never. When people get emotional, once emotions get in, all the logic go out the window. But people do. But people do.
So then why can't
that's just how it is.
That's why you gotta learn how to communicate in order to be in a relationship.
Right.
Learn how to communicate.
But if you can't act on emotion, why can't we have a conversation? Why can't you control your emotions?
There you go.
And we had a conversation.
But this ain't about you all the time, because you. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you want it now. So that's all about me.
Exactly.
They may be like, I may say something wrong, so it can't be all the time when you want it, and it can't be all the time when they run away. So you gotta be able.
Here's a poll. Let's be realistic. When the conversation happens, how many times does the person that wants to talk later? How many times do they win?
We already know.
Let's be realistic. No. How many times they win when they can talk?
Hold on, we got one person because I guess I'm trying to figure out what win mean. Do it come back? Do you come back?
What I'm saying, win is.
Before it gets started?
I'm saying, so if we having a discussion. No, I don't want to talk about it right now. We talk about it later. 99% of the time, that's usually what happens.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. 99% of the time, that's usually what happens. Like you said, that's a win.
What I want to say.
Huh?
Let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
No, but this is what I want to say before you even get to that point, because we already was talking about. So let's say 3 days before we get in this argument, me and you already say, hey, you know, when we get in our argument, we always get up here and out of here. And so what we're gonna do the next time we get in an argument? If we already know that we're not going to agree, we're going to say this to each other. Yeah. We're going to make an agreement right then.
You going to say it 3 days before you have an argument?
I know what you're saying. Go ahead. I'm with you. I don't.
You going to talk about it. You just said we need to come together. So I'm going to say, Charles, you know, next time we have an argument, we're not going to be up here all day. So what we're going to do, that day we're giving this argument, we're going to calm ourselves down, we're going to give our code word, we're going to separate and make a decision that we're going to make it before we get there. So we know when we upset. When we upset,
we're going to talk about later?
Yes, because we're going to make it a point.
So every time after that, that's how it is now?
No, it's not every time. You got to make a conscious decision.
I understand what you're saying.
You know, it's just gonna be how much you want to do it. Because
what
then
you trying to say?
we got a daughter that all our kids got married young. Okay. We got, I think Drika been married about 19 years, 20. Well, no, about 23. D was the youngest. They was young, so I can look at each one of my kids' marriage and relationships, because y'all said it has something to do with the age. It depends on how you want to work your marriage, because we done had to counsel our kids and talk to them and stuff like that. We had to, but they also realize how much they want their marriage.
That's the whole piece.
So a lot of it comes from communication.
That's right.
You're gonna get in an argument. It's not gonna stop. You don't have to be loud with it in an argument, but
and
you
that's
can
what I
discuss.
think on argument. My man said right here. I think this is how I'm guessing I'm reading what you're saying. As men, when women, cause we know women, especially black women, can get up there. When we as a man, we don't want to get to that point. We don't want to hear that. As a man, we don't want to hear them as going right here. That's why
we don't hear nothing.
Right. Because we ain't listening. We ain't hearing all that. We hear you, but we ain't listening to you. But the point is,
that's not really what he was saying.
I know at points when my wife has an argument, see, we can talk, but sometimes my wife get right here. But as I told her, and that's why I say you have to communicate. You got to know each other. I said, hey, I can't talk to you because you're here. I need you down here so we can communicate, so we can talk and get this issue out of the bag. You know, she know that too, and so we worked on that. That's why we are able to get in our arguments and know how to handle them. We're not up here at each other. We're down here talking about it and try to work it out. Because sometimes men don't want to hear a lot of this, that, and the other. You know, we'll be like, yeah, okay, I got you. And then we not doing
make it worse.
Are you really knowing what you're saying?
We don't
right. Because we hear the yelling. there's no communication when you yell. So as a man, sometimes when we hear, are we really listening to what our mate is saying? You know, sometimes we're not. So that's when it's important that you have to both settle each other down before you guys, you know, before people are just out of the ordinary bickering at each other's neck. I think that in a relationship, that's how a relationship grows, because it's not gonna, even that younger people, age don't matter. If you a certain person that you want answers right there, you want to know why you was doing this, why you spend this money right here, how come you didn't pay this bill ain't here, and blah 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 blah, and you trying to explain, but she on another page and you trying to finish the first page. It doesn't matter how.
Ask one question to a man, not 2 or 3 questions at a time. One question. One question at a time. You ask you 2 or 3, you lost.
Answer the first question or the last. First or the last.
Yes.
But as you know, like we all said, you know, it goes in time in your relationship, and you build off of that. You learn from it basically, because now you learn that, hey, I ain't trying. I'm tired. She get tired of hollering at me. Now she sometimes she go to her room and pray. And I was like, you all right? After she's done calming down, then we can get together and we talk and we hash it out. You know, we talk about it, and then it's better that way. Because now the problem gets solved better because we both working it out.
And nobody's scared to talk anymore. Everybody's able to say
now we all can talk.
Transparent. You ain't got to be like, oh, I better not say that.
Right.
So you already know.
I know how she is. You know what I'm saying?
I got your back, you got mine.
I hear a lot of people say that. I know my wife, I ain't got time to talk to my wife because every time I try to talk to her, she does it. That's why some men do go to Shalonda house. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't.
And I have told Shalonda gonna be checking after a while too. All you know is Shalonda give you everything now, but she gonna want that position. I know. Hey, I think Shalonda.
I don't believe that man.
And a classmate back in the days of named Shalonda.
I didn't even think about it. And that's not the random name. Most people gonna say something real.
No, I looked back at her because I heard her. I was like,
I'm sorry.
How y'all feel as a young couple? How y'all starting out? I guess I won't say first.
What was the question?
How y'all, as a young couple, how do you guys feel about communicating? You know, how does communication
How important
work?
it is to communicate at this age.
I think it's important to communicate. Like, piggybacking off of what he was saying about the whole, like, I want to talk right now, and why do I have to wait until you're ready? Because you just have to learn how your partner communicates. Like, Chevy is an avoider. I need to talk right now. But I had to learn that I want to talk right now. It can escalate it, or it could make it worse, or he just won't receive it as well. So I know that
and
I
you don't
have
want
to
to keep doing that, because once you shut a man down, when a man gets shut down, you can't get him back up.
Yeah,
you don't want to shut him down. I had to learn. I'm just being real. I had to learn, because I'm the type, I get the 10 quick. And I don't care who, how, what, whatever. You don't like it, I don't care. I'm ready to. That's how I feel. But I had to learn that when I start getting that 10, I start praying. I say, I want my husband to hear me, Lord. I gotta come down so he can understand when I do talk to him. He gonna listen. It was work.
I know why.
I don't like that.
I want to know why.
You know why? I'm gonna be real. Why? Because, like you said, in a relationship, we're supposed to be able to talk to one another. A lot of times in marriage, we don't want to talk about it because we don't want to hear the argument, we don't want to hear the fuss, we don't want to hear what somebody got to say, and we know it ain't gonna get finished, it ain't gonna get solved. So I had to realize that's not the way to work it. Even at a young age, we had to tell our kids that. They had to learn. My children, they have productive relationships. Because sometimes it don't matter what age you is. At a young age, you can have a productive relationship. You got to know how to do it.
Right.
But I had to learn in my mind that, hey, this ain't working. I'm still mad. I can't sleep. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I want to punch and to fight this, and he's snoring.
Somebody over there. You over there mad. Somebody sleep good.
Because they sleep.
Right.
And so I made a conscious decision to say to myself, how do I want us to work this out? I had to make a conscious decision. How do I want us to work this out? I tell him now, I'm not mad. I'm just asking. I'm trying to stay calm. I let him know up front so he knows. I'm not trying to get upset. I say, I just need to talk for a minute. I say, Charles, give me a moment. I calm myself down. I tell him. And I tell him, hey, because I say, I want us to work this out. I want this to be worked out. I don't want to be mad. And even if it's a hard thing, I had to learn to not get so mad about the hard thing. Because the Bible, when you get married, it's for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, to death do you part. So that worst time, you got to know how to handle worse. Worse can be the worst of the worst. And you got to know that if it's worse, you got to be able to come together and work that worst so it can work out. And I had to learn that. And I tell my daughters when we talk one-on-one, sometimes as women, we the type that want to get it done. Like if you tell me you're going to do it on A, I'm expected to be done on A. I ain't waiting for you to get to Z. Because I'm still in my mind on A. You tell me I'm going to still do it. I got this. I'm going to, But, okay, A to turn into B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I tried to stay at A. But A couldn't stay there because you done got to Z. Z get you to 10. So I had to learn to find a way to not get to Z. So, hey, did you remember the such as, oh, yeah, I got it. Oh, yeah, okay. I had to turn my mind around instead of getting mad and say, I told you to do this yesterday and you ain't doing this, da-da-da-da-da-da. So, you say, hey, did you remember to do? Oh, I said, who? So, you have to make a conscious decision. As a woman, we want things done. And I know men probably want things done, but for some reason, we already know. Nothing works without the woman. We run everything in the house. I don't care if you pay all the bills, when she paid all the bills, we still run the house. We run the house. Nothing functions unless we make it function. And if we not making it function, everything gonna get dysfunction. It's the truth.
What's wrong, Reggie?
You looking at Chevy?
I ain't looking at
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing.
Okay.
I got one thing. So I think one thing that solves all of this is whether it's male or female. If you listen to understand, not listen to respond. That cures everything. As far as
and most people don't.
And most people don't. You're listening to respond. Whatever he or she just said, you already had your response.
Right.
In your head.
You don't practice that in your head.
You're right. Because it ain't gonna get nothing done, and then you ain't even. You can still talk and cook and fix dinner. You want something to drink and all this, but you got bitterness building up, and that tears up the marriage too. When you start being bitter towards your spouse or your mate, that is not good because it changes you. You'll start hating yourself because you'll be thinking in your mind, all of this stuff you want to do right and want it to be right.
Because you're not being yourself.
Right.
It takes more work to be somebody else than to be yourself.
So you have to learn how to understand two imperfect people trying to work together to make it perfect.
But it's easy, man. I'm telling you.
It's not perfect.
It's easy.
So you got to understand every flaw I got, every flaw you got.
It's easy.
We got to learn how to make them flaws flow together. Because
you already know the flaws. If you in tune with your mate, you already know what ticks them off, or you know what get them to 10.
Right.
So as a mate, you should be like, well, I know what make him mad. I know what make her mad. Let me just do this. I'm gonna go ahead and
like my husband make that bed up like I don't know what. Now I ain't got to say nothing. I get out the bed about 5 minutes too long. That bed made up. Cause I mean,
you be mad that they made up.
Child, he don't miss making that bed up. I can go downstairs and get a cup of coffee.
I gotta make it up. You gotta put it too far. I gotta make the bed up to get in bed.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. How would Charles feel when you come back and say, baby, I want to talk And y'all like, what the hell you finna say? What's your reaction sometimes?
You like, oh. Yeah, what's going on?
What I'm saying is, but that you put him in a situation. What I'm saying is, you put him in a situation right there, because he don't know what you get ready to say.
Well, you,
but for her, I can not. As we've grown,
right.
Now I can see what she's, I can tell by her demeanor and what she want to talk about. I can see what she's gonna, how she is, and say, hey, this, and that.
How long did it take you to get there?
Huh?
How long did it take you to get there?
What you mean, like get upset?
No,
how many years?
To learn.
I mean, shoot. 15.
Yeah, that's me in a question. So when a woman comes to you and says, I want to talk,
that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing I want to hear. That's the worst thing in the world.
For me, I know what's up. What you got? Listen, well, I'm gonna tell you later. No, you can't tell me. You don't tell me. Let's talk. Let's talk.
And you kind of know, even if he sound like he intimidated with that, what's up? You been giving back what's up back. I'm just usually when he made me feel intimidated, I shut down. I just like, never mind, I don't want to talk about it. It's all right. You ain't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. I used to be like that, but now I know how to go. I just wait till I'm ready. I start praying, I think about it before I go with the words I want to say. Because I know if I go the way I'm feeling, it's not going to get accomplished. But I learned over the years and recently, every time we have a bad situation, and then it's been some lately that I thought we couldn't make it through, but because I kept my cool and listened and we worked together, it worked out. Instead of me trying to find all the wrong in it, I started looking for the right to make it better.
Say that again.
No,
I didn't hear the last part.
Instead of all the wrong. So instead of looking for all the wrong in it, I started looking for what's right. I stopped looking at the wrong part of it. I had to make my mind not think about what the problem is, how to work this problem out. I take that all the way out. I can't think like that, and I can't say it's your fault. It's our fault. I had to learn that. It's our fault. It's no longer, it's his fault. He did this. I had to learn that, and it's not easy. That's why you got to keep God first in that, because if you don't keep God, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because there's times where I felt like I could not do it, but I did it, and God, thank you, Lord, I stayed.
Can I tell you something? If you don't get on 10, it'll be a lot better.
Oh my God. I don't get on 10 like that no more.
Charles deal with his wife and his her 10.
No, I'm just saying.
Charles
I'm just What I'm saying is, my wife used to be a 10 all the time. She worked on not being a 10. My wife don't be a 10 no more. So we don't have those problems because guess what? We don't get to 10. So what I'm saying is, don't try to stay at 10.
Right.
And a lot of black women are at 10.
Why does it black women? Black women. That's why they say that.
Well, say some of the black women you know, because you don't know all black women.
Well, you know what?
There's no conversation
because white women might not be on 10, but I guarantee when
they're
gonna take more than the women take.
Yes, they be on 10. They gonna take more than them.
My 10 ain't good.
Black women.
But you ever get up 10?
Sometimes.
Okay, that's
Right. That's a human.
Now I have never
You heard me. You just don't want me to ever get on 10. I promise you.
That's just, now I'm not saying it's a gender thing, I'm saying it's a personality.
I guarantee most y'all are here on this on 10.
It take a lot for me to get on 10. You gotta get on 10 a lot. It take a lot.
So I have a question. We didn't get on because y'all talking. So do you wish sometimes he would? You want to talk right then? Do you wish sometimes he would talk right then?
Of course I do.
So
But I know that he'll.
Do you think you should compromise and talk right then?
I mean, it's just sometimes we do, sometimes I don't. It depends on what it is.
And are you okay with waiting with him? If
people handle situations on how they
you always got
situations handled.
Not if I wanted to get
I'm
handled
not
the way
really
I
like
wanted
that.
to. I have no choice.
But you always got choices in life, so
Mm-mm.
you may not like the
No,
you may
I
not like the
know.
consequences of your choices, but you always
If
got
I
choices.
if I want it to get handled, knowing his personality and how he thinks and how he processes, I have to wait for him. Depending on the situation, because I need him to
It's the
receive
same
what
thing
I'm-
with her.
yeah.
Because if she got an attitude, what's wrong?
So then it's
nothing.
not the
That
wait.
means you don't
it's
want to
the-
talk about it right now.
But hold
That's
on,
all
so
that is.
this is what I'm saying. So it's not the waiting. Why you have? It's not. You don't have to wait because of him. You have to wait. It sounds like, and I'm just saying, because your attitude is up here, which is why you have to wait because he's not going to be receptive to that. Where if you brought it down a little bit, you probably wouldn't have to wait. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree, but sometimes
what I was
it's not
saying.
always. But
That's what I'm
sometimes
saying.
I'm not always at 10. Sometimes.
I mean,
I'm
sometimes
not
a
gonna.
five
I'm
can
not
be
gonna
bad.
say he. It's not even a 5. It's just like I'll come to him with something, and it's like he won't. He'll say, "Okay, all right," and I know he's not hearing what I'm saying, so I'll have to.
Because it's
come
always
back.
a 10, so you try
It's
to
not always
try to say,
a 10.
okay, all
If he
right,
says
to
it's a 10,
avoid
he
it
says
from
it's a 10,
getting to a 10.
But it's not always a 10. Sometimes
to
I'll
you.
come to you with something, and I won't even be. I'll bring up an issue or I'll say something,
Not the person that's giving.
and you'll just be like, "Well, I ain't think it was that big of a deal." So, and then I just have to be like, "Then now I want to get on 10."
Because you
But
didn't think it was
Because of
a big
those
deal.
7 out of 10 times you on 10, so those 3 times you not, I'm gonna still treat it like those 7 out of 10 times.
that don't make sense.
Uh-oh, hold on. That was about a 7 right there.
But if I-
Hand on the hip.
Oh, that ain't nothing, y'all. That's nothing. That is nothing.
He said something. He really said something there because
He said,
your 10 is more than your 3s. Your
So-
7 is more than your 3s.
He
So
said
when you
7 out
come
of
to
10
him,
times?
he's always expecting you to be at a 10
It's a defense
because you
mechanism.
show yourself 10 more than you show
But
yourself
if I
3.
come to
I think he's showing
But that comes
If
with
I
that
come-
passion. That passion. Me and you
But it's a
passion.
condition.
Yeah,
It's a
but if I
condition.
come to
Yeah.
you and I
But it's
have,
still
if I'm speaking like
But a
how I'm
7
speaking
to
right
him is still
now,
too much.
and you shut it down like, well, I didn't think it was that big of a deal,
he said
and
it,
I
right.
respond by
He
walking
said the
away and
same.
saying, okay, there's been times when you'll come back and you'll be like, hey, so I understand if you felt like this or blah, da, 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 da. And sometimes I just gotta say okay, because you have to sit and you have to dwell on things too, and then you'll come back and be like, oh, okay, well,
Well, yeah, that's cool. To me, that sounds cool. Right
I'm not
there.
always on 10.
I'm just saying that sounds cool.
But
Like-
when I have had to learn to calm down because he's not gonna receive
My,
nothing.
my mama was on the phone with us today when you was on 10.
No, tell him what you did though. Tell him what you did though.
Nah,
That's-
we
don't do
don't
that.
gotta talk about
No,
us.
no,
We don't gotta talk about us.
Tell him what you did.
No, this is
No, we was on the phone. His mom heard me on 10.
Mama in that
But tell him what you did.
Nah, I was just
No, we said don't say that.
We just came back from vacation and he let my dog eat my rum cake that we got from the
Oh,
Bahamas.
yeah, I heard them, and y'all know what I did? I hung up.
No, he said my mom had to call you back.
No, I hung up because that's my boy, but I knew how mad I would have been if he would have told me that he let the dog eat my rum cake.
That
I
we
couldn't
just
even
got.
say
Were you
that.
mad about the dog, about him giving it to the dog, or you mad because you don't have no more rum cake?
No, I was mad because of his irresponsibleness. Because we know our dog. Like you have to keep these doors. I tell him all the time, watch Jody. If you're gonna be in there playing the game, watch Jody because he messes up my house.
Oh, so he didn't let the dog eat the rum cake?
Nah,
Exactly, he was being irresponsible, and he let the dog go in my bag and eat my rum cake. Yeah. That dog.
I was mad about it too. I mean, I'm mad.
No, because he never gets mad. Chevy is a
I'm a
very
laid back, chill.
laid back, nonchalant. So it's extremely hard for me being with a person that's so monotone, and I'm just. Chevy.
Hey,
And you know that
you want, hey, let me give you a counsel.
He does. He balances me out. Yes.
If something happen, I'm acting crazy like, what you got?
Yeah.
But y'all
Hey, let me give you a counsel.
Yeah,
She can help you with that. I promise you,
I'm so open to counseling and therapy. I
she
know.
can. But that's a good thing because you both can't be on team.
Right.
You
Yeah.
both- that's a good thing. So as they say,
Because we
opposites
be
attract.
fighting.
You know what I'm saying? So for him to deal, or for him to, handle your 10, not be able to handle, and for you to be able to handle his laid backness. The laid backness is a blessing, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It
It's a
is.
blessing because
It is.
when laid back people get on the 10, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
Something's about to go down.
It's a whole lot of furniture.
Yes, I agree. No, you're right. 1,000%.
All days.
Random. I don't know him.
Okay.
We don't know him.
Okay, so
Not even from Joseph Value.
No, not originally.
okay, so I got a question for the groups. Specifically, it's for the men, and it kind of goes along with what we were talking about earlier. And I was trying to slide it in earlier, but you know, sometimes when we get in talking, we kind of go a little bit like off the grid. So, this is a question for the men in here. Do you equate your worth to what's in your pocket? So basically, in so many other words, because kind of like what you said earlier, how like Caleb feels like most women only want a man for their money. So basically, I'm asking, do you feel worthy based on what you got in your pocket?
At our age now, I'm gonna say no, but maybe at his age, it might feel different because we already got at a level, and we all work together to get what we got. So it's not just in our pockets; it's the value comes from everywhere. But when you're young and going out to meet somebody, which we're not doing, that's a different question, a different answer.
And that's why I think society has bringing young men now to believe that if I have more than, if I got 500,000 in my checking account, 500,000 in my savings, and I'm driving Maybach, G-Wagon, that's what the status I need to be at. So that I don't know what they say now, bro.
I tell you what, who remember early when it was number drug guys and women used to date number drug guys until it was kind of hard for a regular person to get a nice looking girl because you know what? Because the women wanted money. So it ain't just started that women want money.
Oh, no, it happened.
So I would say this regards to, I would say men. I would say yes they. I would say yes they do because here's the deal. If you, and this is my personal opinion again, if you're a real man, your job is to provide, take care of your family. Amen. If you can't provide, take care of your family, you don't feel. I would feel worthless as a man because I'm not, especially if I got three girls. And so what am I? I'm showing them that it's okay for daddy to lay up and not be able to provide and take care of the family. So I think we do place some worth in what's in our wallet, what's in our bank account, or not so much that in our ability to provide and take care of our family, to give them everything that they need and some of the things that they want.
So I think, good having a good job income does help the process. Because, so it does factor in your worth and what you bring to the table.
But because I don't have no G-Wagon or no Road King, or no...
anything, Like you said, hitting stuff and you ain't saying nothing, and you got for a 450 credit score, and we trying to do something, and then it's all jacked up. Or you got some hidden debt somewhere that it comes out later on. It can mess things up.
Men know what they chasing though. Like men
know.
With money that are dating women only because they got money. They know that. Like,
so I can give you money because I'm getting something in return. That money ain't never on that.
And some men are fine with that. Some men, they just, they just all what they, like what you said, Caleb said. What did Caleb say?
Caleb said a lot of these women out here is out for money.
Yeah, but those are. They not hard to spot. Like you can kind of, you can see. Yeah, they not hiding it. You can tell. Like they easy to. They tell you kind of what it is.
Tell you what time it is right there.
Because we raised them basically. I was raised to pay for everything. That's how I was raised. Open the door for a woman. When we go out, it was embarrassing for anybody I went out with to pay because I thought that was my job. Again, I got that from my household. So we raised him. To pay.
But a lot of men aren't raised with fathers.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is that's why Caleb do that. But he see a lot of stuff going on that once you start doing that, people get outrageous. And you know that
You mistaken lobster.
Yeah, because then these women really think,
Because cheesecake factory.
I just want to put this on wax, man. I want to put this on wax. Please don't think that all women think like that. I am totally fine with a man taking me to the Cheesecake Factory. I love the Cheesecake Factory. It tastes good to me. So please, right, me too. Sis got the game messed up.
She does not speak for all single women.
Exactly.
No,
Please don't put that in y'all head.
Okay.
Yeah, she don't speak for me. Neither do old girl who ate 48 oysters.
Well, a woman like you, most of the time, women who just about money, they ain't looking to be in a relationship anyway. They're not looking to be married. They just looking to have fun, live they Generation Z, Instagram, Facebook, whatever thing. Oh, my boyfriend took me to Ruth Chris. I had a lamb chop and some scalloped potatoes. Oh, and I had 4 drinks. And then he took me out to get some other things. That's what they live by.
Yeah, but that's why I don't understand why all men group us together, or most men group us together and say that every last one of us want money, because you can tell which girls do and
But when
don't.
y'all would talk about cheating, y'all group all men, like.
I don't group all men together. I don't group all men together.
Majority of the people sitting in the circle was.
No, we didn't.
I don't know.
As I said before, when you say anything you talk about, it's never going to be for all. There's no conversation. No. So when we talk, we're talking on the masses. And you may not be part of the masses. You might be the 30% of the 70%.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Because I used to be just like that, always saying, don't be saying all black women. I've been told, why you always look mean? Black women, y'all always got y'all face round up. I'm minding my own business. I don't know why you think I'm trying to. I'm thinking about what I got to buy, what I got to cook.
You probably had the frown on your face.
I'm trying to get
I said we need to correct that, because not just our community say that, but all communities say all black women, and we have this.
What they call it, angry black women?
Right.
Yeah.
This stereotype about black women, that you're not beautiful, that you're angry. So it needs to start with us and our men to debunk that. So stop saying all black women. Say the women I dealt with. That's why I'm not saying that you were doing that, but I want to correct it here so you can teach our
I don't
generation.
think the other communities know, they just hear that, because the people I be around, I don't meet a whole lot of angry black women. So I do multicultural people hair, different kinds. I can say for me, it's just words. A lot of times, I'm just saying me and my children who they deal with. A lot of white people look up to us. They don't want to say it out loud. They don't want to say it out loud. They want our hair.
Right.
We go do their hair. We wear their hair, but they want our hair. They want our lips, they want our body, they want all of that. It's by words that they say, angry black women. Those people in hidden, just knowing the ones that I deal with, you know they want to be like us. They truly want to be like us. They do. A lady stopped me in the store when I went to get those crackers. It was 2 ladies, black lady and a white lady. White lady said, you look so nice. I love your hair. Your curls are so pretty. In my mind, I said, thank you. I said, she looking at me saying, I wonder if that's her hair. That's what she said.
I'm surprised she said, can I touch it?
Okay. I didn't been able to touch it. Then the black girl came to me and said, you are so beautiful. You look like a queen. I accepted that from her. And I said, thank you. She said, I saw you coming in the store. And I said, oh, she is a beautiful queen. And now you know what I told her? I said, I appreciate that, because I needed to hear that. We need to hear that.
But
I can't say
come from us what we do to each other.
But if you continue to walk your walk and talk your talk, it's going to let the flame go down. And I can say that with me working in the salon. I can say that if I go in that shop acting like I'm an angry black woman, that's the portray that they going to act. But if I act like I'm not an angry black woman, they're not going to act angry black woman. If I portray myself calm, peaceful, they're going to act the same way. So I can't put it on society. I can say us. We in here together. We in here
here acting wild, cursing, and acting like a fool. So we acting accordingly to how we are acting in here. So we get around them and act that way, they gonna feel like this what we need. They gonna start acting like that. So I can't say it's basically society, it's us. We have to be who we are and know who we are by how we portray ourselves. It don't bother me when he say all black women, because I know it's not me. But if you portray yourself, someone sitting in here that wasn't black, they can see that's not us. We're not angry black women. So that's my perception of it, and that's because I deal with women doing hair.
Right,
So
but I'm coming from, I work in corporate America, and also I'm an attorney. So when people, people see you, or especially black women in those leadership roles, anytime
and they be acting angry.
No,
it's more assertive.
It's
assertive.
Yeah. Right.
You have to understand assertiveness and aggressive is different. And to have a voice.
Angry black women.
Right. But a lot of times you're assertive. Being a woman in corporate America, they see it, and I'm doing this for a reason because you're really assertive. Are you voicing your opinion? That's okay. It's all in your approach and how you say it. Yeah.
But also perception is reality too. So you have to understand. I think the term that, huh?
If they build,
they
build that perception.
They build the perception that you're angry.
But perception is reality. If I perceive you to be white, you can tell me you black all day long. I don't care. My perception of you is you white. Doesn't matter what you tell me. So what happens is they see, like you were saying, you probably caught you at the wrong day. Maybe somebody got a line of black lady. She had to put you in your place. Are you really angry? But no, but I got to let that, whatever situation was, I had to handle that situation, and that was the best way that she knew how to handle it. So if somebody passing by, and you're a black woman, man, she was mad. She got all in this stuff, you know. But you the sweetest thing, you know what I'm saying? That's not how you act. That's not how
you don't hear people say angry white woman, angry Asian woman.
They call Karen. We call Karen.
Karen. I'm glad that word
came out. Racist white woman calling the cops on racist situations. But there is
really, you said you really never called a white person Karen, and they ain't did nothing.
I'm glad it came out. We were Karen first.
No, not like
this is Karen.
No. You gotta act before
right.
You could be looking a certain way.
And be like, oh, you need to smile more. Oh, yeah, stuff like that. It's the perception already on you because you're a black woman, and that's what.
But that's not a perception. If they say you need to smile more, maybe you don't smile. So
people don't even
But I'm saying, you're saying that if they.
And it's kind of like what he said earlier about.
You said if they say you need to smile more, you don't. That means you don't smile.
No, Shelly, you talk about when you be upset.
I don't smile. I never smile.
If you knew,
but
when you be happy, not
I'm not saying you do,
but I'm saying
walking down the street.
You can't be mad
at me, and I'm like, what I'm supposed to do? Walk down the street like this?
Nobody's gonna come up to you like,
it appears you say.
I get it all the time.
Nobody said you're not friendly.
All the time. Why you never smile on the picture? You need to smile. Huh? All the time. And even people, I'm just
how much does that bother you? Like, do it affect you? The quality of your life. What you hear? Because the reason I'm saying that is because, okay, I've heard some bad things about myself. I've actually heard people talk about me, and I heard them where I could have said in my mind, I need to let her know I know this, but I choose not to because I know who I am. So I had to understand when somebody talk about me, like I told my children when she heard someone talk about me, I talk about somebody too. So they talk about somebody, I talk about somebody too. Right, yeah. So I had to learn that when I hear somebody talk about me, that's how they feel about me, but I don't have to feel like that.
Right. That doesn't make it
true.
true.
I don't have to take that. So I had to make myself feel even more better about who I am because of the negative I heard they said about me. I done heard I'm never on time. I done heard I knew this and I'm dumb. I've heard some negative.
Yeah, what if everybody say that? What if everybody say that? Like, what does it become true?
Is it true?
But what he's saying is,
it's not stereotypical. It's true.
1,000 people can't be wrong.
Yeah, what if everybody say that?
They say I procrastinate all the time.
But my point is, we always hear things, especially in the black community, how negative we are. The only thing we can do with all of the talk, just like the president, when President Obama was in there, no matter how much he did this way, he always got talked about this way.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you are. People are going to talk about you. It's how you receive it. You already know you're not an angry black woman. And you know when you walk in there, they looking at you at elegance. When you walk into as an attorney, you're going to keep your assertiveness. You're not going to change me from being assertive. Because you think I'm angry, I'm still going to get you checked. Right. And I'm going to check you right, and I ain't going to get loud with you. And I'm going to say, have a nice day. And,
And smile.
And smile.
That's the whole thing.
You got to get to the point where words don't hurt you. You got to get to that point to believe that words don't hurt you. That we already just talking about relationships. You can be in a relationship with somebody that say they love you and they can call you stupid. But you already know you ain't stupid. Your husband may get mad at you and say you make me sick. Hey, I ain't made you nothing to make you sick. To make you sick. I ain't do that for today.
Do I need to take you to the
doctor? I made you sick. So I'm just making a point. I'm not saying I'm right. But I'm just saying, but literally words gonna be said. They're gonna talk about us singly, one person, and they're gonna talk about us collectively. They're gonna call us angry women, and they might call you an angry woman. So in your mind, do you really have to worry about what the words are, or do you truly need to show them and put them in check by acting who you are?
How come women don't smile?
And then, hold on, Chevy had a good. Chevy had a good point. Listen to what he said. Because if you hear something constantly, what'd you say?
If everybody say like you late, you know, just an example. Then if everybody say it, then when does it become the truth?
Like, so what I believe based off of that, you have to look yourself in the mirror and evaluate yourself and say, well, is what they're saying, am I doing that, or is that happening? If not, then like she said, you keep it moving. Hey, you know who you are and whose you are. But if it's true, man,
it could be true.
Man, she can't. Her presentation sucked, man. Her presentation needs work.
Let me clarify. I'm not talking about me.
I know. I'm just
talking about black women in general.
About black women being perceived as angry black women.
Y'all missing the point.
Yeah, because you can be.
Me, I'm not.
No, we're not putting it on you. We're saying.
No, I heard what you're saying. I'm clarifying my point. So this is what I'm saying, that we as a community need to be careful about what we say to each other.
Right. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. So it's not about if I'm offended by a word or someone's perception, because honestly I don't care what you think about me, because if I don't know your first or last name, I don't care. But the point is that we need to be careful about what we say to each other, especially in our community, because our kids are listening, and then they're gonna pick up that, and then you're talking about how this generation is a breakdown on marriage and all these things because of social media, but it also starts at home and what they're seeing with us. So we need to be careful what we communicate and what we talk about and how we perceive each other.
So where did the angry black woman come from? Because
I think it comes
we
from.
had to handle a lot as white women.
You do.
And
People
they
see
have put it as angry, but we had to be strong for our families for whatever situation has happened and what is going on. And I think we haven't been nurtured enough ourselves, even from our own, I'm going to say from our own men. Because I'm not going to just say all of them.
No, I know what you're saying.
But a lot of them is, they look at the woman and they say, oh, she's angry, but what does she have to go through?
Right.
How did the foundation, but
what
they
she
can look
has to
at
go
other
through,
races.
does that change the fact that she's angry or not?
They look at other races as being softer and gentle, but then we, instead of saying, man, look what society has done to my woman. Look what he has made her because of all she had to.
Break the curse.
How
do we start raising our kids the same way we was taught? Because that's the thing too.
Right.
Like a lot of people
But
I'm just saying, like a lot of kids are raised how they was raised, and it's just repeated cycle. If nobody breaks the cycle, and a lot of people not educated to break the cycle, a lot of people not strong enough to break the cycle, because every woman ain't a strong woman. Every man ain't a strong man.
Exactly.
Everybody got to deal with so much. Everybody, I'm different. What you can deal with, I might can't, vice versa. So when do we stop? So we need to go back to it take the village thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, look at the village and who had the support and hold up the village at the time when there were like we can start from slavery or however you go. They took away the strength of the family, and now the woman had to take on that strength. So now instead of saying, "Hey, my woman or my black woman has been kind of had to handle these things," man, let me treat her and try to nurture her and love her and understand when she comes. Oh no, she got an attitude. I can't deal with her. She may not have an attitude. She may be hurt and broken, and she's not used to someone coming in and really being there for her. So now she has to protect herself. So that's why I was saying, where did it come from of this angry black woman syndrome? Where did
because you just said,
but I'm just saying,
you just explained she is angry. She's mad.
So what is it? But she's hurt. See, anger and hurt is a different thing.
But that don't change the fact that you angry.
Angry is because you're hurt. The hurt cause is where the anger is coming from.
But she may not be hurt. I mean, she may not be angry. She may just be strong at what she's doing or taking care of everything. Doesn't mean she's angry.
Well, that's the difference.
You know what I'm saying?
But earlier you said she's angry because she's acting this way because of what she had to go through with what she
I didn't say it, but
so what I'm saying is she's still. So if you're displaying that's that perception is reality.
Yeah,
if you
we get that.
We get. You may not know what that person went through. You don't know that doggone husband was supposed to pick up the kids and didn't. Now I got to stop what I'm doing. I'm late for work, whatever the case may be. So now this guy pulled off in front of me, and so now I'm mad and. Whoever passed me by, man, look at that black? She mad as all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That ain't how you want the men to fix either, because I know you said like
what'd you
men
say?
need to come in too.
Did I
But sometimes it takes us to lean on each other. Women to lean on each other, not a man. A man can't fix everything. Sometimes we need each other, and I think that's what our black community does lack is black women. Loving on black women, complimenting black women.
Support each other.
I don't know because I came from a family with my grandmother, my mother, my aunts, my siblings. We all support each other. So I've always seen women do that. So I don't know.
But sometimes
that's not everybody. But I'm saying in some families, that's why I say in some families, I've seen the lack of representation for men, but I see the representation of women. You know what I'm saying? Call it me. You love that. Red. Angry. Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you're angry then.
Reggie be having a smoke, Reggie be having a smoke.
Sometimes people get called angry. I'm just asking, do you ever get called angry? You said you have a good support system, so maybe you don't ever show being angry.
I mean, I can show being upset. And I can.
No, what I'm saying is people don't call you angry.
No, not.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I get called angry.
Okay.
Somebody said I was spazzing out. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't call angry. Some people don't call angry. That's all I'm saying.
I just was somebody that where did it come from in our community. That's the question that
we on a different boat now.
So I ain't gonna get this for this name. My name is, so I ain't gonna get it. Because I call her angry all the time.
I think it comes from what a person defines as angry, like what they look at it or what they deem as angry. So to some, like you said, being assertive, being aggressive, for people that's strong and understand that, hey, this person's not taking no stuff, they just standing up and speaking their mind, they're strong black woman. But to individuals that maybe not used to that, or maybe used to maybe the submissive black woman, or that may not stand up or just, okay, I'll do, either at work or whatever the case may be. And then if that person does decide to take that step and stand up for themselves, now they're angry or upset. Now they're looked at as angry because that's not the norm. They're used to seeing that person.
But that's perception. That's not reality.
That's what I just said. But perception is reality.
But she said corporate.
That's your reality.
Perception is reality.
No, I don't understand what you mean. that.
If I look at you and tell you,
It's your reality.
It's not.
That's
That's
reality.
But if it's everybody's reality.
No, it's not everybody's reality. That's your reality. That's not
But that's what we're
reality.
talking about.
Perception is your reality. It's not reality. In reality, I'm a bubbly, I'm happy, I'm this person. I'm not an angry person. But if I decide to speak my piece, if I decide to speak my piece,
why am I calling you that? Because my perception is reality. You say they're saying why is she calling me an angry black woman? Because perception is reality. I perceive you to be angry.
Or you're projecting your beliefs.
Exactly. That's not reality. That's what you're projecting. Exactly.
Women.
If you already have a preconceived notion of me,
okay,
then
but it's still reality.
But if everybody look at you,
how you gonna tell me if I
no, it's not everybody.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're talking about.
But we're talking about that's not the truth, and it's our responsibility as black women, black men, to change that reality.
You never change a person.
Right,
a culture. Because white people ain't trying to be funny, and I ain't trying to do white black thing, but they will always see you a certain light. It don't matter how educated you are.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about us.
But the challenge is who do you
us,
work with?
we like in the bucket
You'll
sometimes.
always be judged. Because if you're not worried about them, then why are we talking about them?
No, I'm worried about talking about our community. Talking about saying
what
angry
can we
black
do
women
to change that narrative of the angry black women? Where can it start to correct those
But
things?
we can change the way we act. Like we talked about relationships. You go to 10. You go to 10.
Right.
Like we don't have to respond at a 10 all the time. Now,
But we have
the
a right.
kids don't get it every time. But I
You
mean,
We have a right to be angry and not be called an angry black woman.
And they have a right to call you an angry black woman if you
Exactly. Everybody gets angry.
So you're an angry woman? Just take the black.
So you just want to be called an angry woman.
Black on black crime.
You just want to be called, not you, but I'm saying you just.
So if I'm
you think they should.
I'm an angry black woman for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's wild.
But an angry black woman is perceived as differently than an angry
That's
white
because
woman.
that's your preconceived notion.
It's not
what you
everybody
think.
sees an angry
That's
black
not
woman.
like
We can't be angry.
we can't
I
be
see you for
angry,
who you are.
but if
And if you don't show anger, then there's no anger. Like you said, you can be bubbly, fun loving. I don't think every black woman is an angry black woman. I don't think that.
I think it's just what you're looking at the time.
How many encounters with an angry black woman before you call her an angry black woman then?
That a lot of us can get at a 10.
I'm
So
assuming-
that assumption.
But I'm not saying that you good at it. No, what I'm saying to you is, when I talk, I always tell you that it's not for everybody. It's everybody. What I'm telling you, I guarantee you, if there are 10 women here, I guarantee you, it's probably 7 people here get a 10. You might not be part of 7.
I believe everybody can get at a 10. Your 10 may not be her 10,
Okay.
but you got your own 10. So everybody can get there, but it's just at different 10s. You know.
but for what you asking, I don't think that's something that'll ever change. Like you asking for something that probably won't ever happen. Because even with other cultures, not just black, everybody got a stigma some type of way. But you don't have the answer to it. You can't. I mean, what can you do?
And it's not about answering to it, and I think that mindset of saying, oh, it's never going to change, it starts with us. It starts with us communicating better and not portraying those stereotypes and saying those stereotypes. Yes, black women, black men can get angry, and that's fine, but let's not perpetuate that stereotype. That's all I'm saying.
Right. The problem is the stereotype is so vast, you can't, I mean, how can you determine what the stereotype is?
Right.
The bar is already set. If I sit here and I'm calm, and I don't say nothing, I look like I got an attitude, I'm an angry black woman. If I curse you out, I'm an angry black woman. If I smile and speak to you and say something after, I'm an angry black woman. It's the problem is, why do we care as people, if you know you ain't an angry black woman, I don't give a damn if you call me an angry black woman every day. If I know in myself that's not who I am, I don't care. We get too caught up, I feel people get too caught up in what outside people portray you to be when you know who you truly are.
But
I
think
care
for
when
her,
it affects
she's
my
not
job.
saying outside. It's within
She's
our
not
own
saying
culture. She's saying our own
She's
culture.
not saying that's how she is.
Right.
All she's saying is, what can we do to, what can we do
Stop
to
worrying
change
about
it?
what other people.
I'm not talking about myself. I have already.
No, I'm not saying you're talking about yourself. What I'm saying is we need to stop
You spoke about
the
it. That's why we
narrative.
don't
The issue is we are too concerned about how other people perceive us. Our whole being is how other people from other races perceive us. We're sitting here as black people right now. We're not arguing. We're not fighting. We're not cussing. You know what I'm saying? But they might perceive we're doing something negative. We got to get out the perception of what other people think. I don't give a damn what people call me.
And somebody can say, man, she angry right now.
And I don't care.
I'm just saying.
Because I'm not.
But I know, and I know you because I know that's how you talk.
I mean,
That's how you
but I'm
communicate.
not. Once we got out of that, we got to be what society say we be, and we got to act like society say we act, and we got to conform like society say we act, and be ourselves. We don't care. I don't care. I'm just at the problem. I just don't care.
Right.
And it's gonna
We be honest, Filipinos, Hispanics.
I agree. They call that. They got their music. It's just, you know.
No, that's not what I was saying. I said that our own community
That's what I'm
needs to
saying.
stop
Doing it.
doing it. Right.
Yeah.
We need to stop doing it.
I mean, our own community does it. Our own community does it, and it's unfortunately a lot of the issues and narratives that happens within black people are started within our own community.
Yeah, right.
Angry
That's
black
what we
women
started,
came
and
from
we need
men
to change
saying
it.
we.
That's my
Angry
point.
black
Yeah.
women came from men
That's
saying
what
we were
saying.
angry
Did
black
they come from
women.
women or men? I'm glad you said that.
I mean, that's where it started. It started within our own community. It started with our own
So
community.
since it started with us,
Then
let's change it.
Well, one way.
I'm not talking about anybody else.
How can you change? How can you change it?
Generation, right?
How can you change it?
So what happens? They take it from China and we're like, they think it's cool.
That's an excuse.
Making a conscious decision.
Right.
I'm not gonna call you an angry black woman.
Right.
I'm not gonna say another stereotype about black men. I'm not gonna be like all men, all black men. It starts
that's
with
true.
us. It starts
It
with
does.
us. So,
It does.
so all these other excuses,
I think in
a
this
conscious
conversation
decision for
there
you
was
to
a
make.
conversation.
So we need to start saying, what's Charlamagne say? Black men don't cheat.
Black men don't cheat. That's what it is.
That's the new thing. Black men don't cheat like that. They don't cheat no more. This is 2023. Our black men is the bomb. They don't cheat. Now when we get together with just women, them niggas ain't shit.
So here we go. Black women ain't angry. Black women ain't angry. I go, when we get together, I'm angry.
Always angry. That's always.
You see that?
There you go.
Hey, I know where it came from. You know, the guy was hanging out in the corner and then he went home with the wife and she hit him across the head with a frying pan. So all the men talk about now the woman angry. Don't go down to Betsy house. It's gonna be John.
That's an angry black woman right there.
That's where it came from.
What's the last question?
Did we answer the question?
The question was,
But we answered it in the way we were supposed to.
the answer was about do you equate your worth, men's worth to money?
Yeah, but they
We answered it. We just got off topic.
How did we get to the angry black women?
I have no
Basketball question.
As they say, the love of money is the root of all.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, I guess I would end it with, I think it's important for us to, I guess, get to some sort of understanding with each other. So I guess I end it with this. For men in here, what is something that you wish that women understood about you, and then vice versa? For the women in here, what is something that you wish that men understood about you? Because the reason why I asked this question is because I feel like we constantly go about our lives and we like, oh man, like, you know, dang, he just don't understand me, and we do it to each other on both sides. So I'm leaving the floor open for that question.
It
don't matter, men, women, whoever.
What we're talking about is we're not angry. A lot of times we're hurt, and we don't have the support that we need as women. You know? So I think that's kind of something that
And our definition is mad.
Yeah, are mad.
My definition is mad.
Yeah, or I'm
but
not
men
mad.
say it's mad. What I'm saying is, but women are. My thing is, men say mad, but women most of the time say I'm not mad. But we say y'all are mad.
Exactly.
What's the difference between you're mad and me not being mad? What is actually being mad to women? What is mad?
Well, you said being mad.
No, not what I'm saying is. When I said that, what defines mad is when I say something, someone always say I ain't mad.
I think men think we mad because, like we've been saying, a lot of times, I say me. When I get on the 10, I want you to hear me. I don't really necessarily know that I'm on 10. I just feel like I want to say this and I want to get it out and I want you to hear me.
So you're mad, right?
I can't say I'm mad. I think it comes out wrong how I say it because I had to learn. I don't have to get here to make my point.
Right.
That's what I'm learning. But I want, as far as men, I'm going to say, I'm a married woman. As a woman, I would want my husband to know when I'm talking to you, it's not to be against you. I'm with you.
Yeah. Right.
So whatever I come out my mouth, I'm here to make our relationship better,
but you can't
not
be mad.
worse. Yeah, you can be mad,
That's
but my point, I'm saying as a woman,
You
can
be mad. You can be concerned for you. I know, right?
So my point is, as a woman, I would like for a man to know, far as a relationship, I guess I should put that, whether it's a young relationship or old, that when I come to you, whether I'm mad, sad, glad, whatever, I'm with you and not against you. That's what I want to understand. When I come to you, it's not to be against you. I'm with you. That's what I want to say.
And he got that. That's good. He got
Any woman in here that has a relationship, when you want, don't you? At 10, you still want your spouse, your man, your boyfriend, husband, whatever. You want him to know, no matter how mad you is, you still with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Still with him. Okay. All
right.
right.
You answer my question. Answer my question. Follow the forward. Don't listen to me.
I just say that, I'm still here. I'm at 10 right now. I'm at 10 right now. I'm at 10 with you.
Okay.
That'll make it okay to be at a 10.
Right.
Say that question again, Brittany. Say that question.
Repeat the question.
The men.
Basically, just what is something that you wish that men understood about you?
Oh, about.
Or women
vice versa.
Or vice versa.
I did it on relationship vice versa.
Nobody even say all of that.
I would say I think a lot of times, male or female, I think understanding that when, like she said, when you give it, when your partner gives you advice or tells you something, it's to help, it's to benefit. You may feel like you may not need it, or you may feel like you may not want it. It's not, but it's just understand that it's to help, or to benefit. What you do with it once you get it is on you. But just accept it and process it. If things don't go the way that you thought and you should have done it that way, it is what it is. Lesson learned. Maybe you'll listen next time. Maybe you won't. But just understand that it's not a controlling thing. It's just you think this would benefit or help. Either way.
All right, look, well, silence is golden. Silence is golden. Look, this is the quietest I've heard in this room all day. Pin drop. Everybody been having side conversations and everything else. Now quiet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for attending and for doing this with me. And second of all, and probably most importantly, I want to thank the Massies for opening up their home to us and for allowing me to host this here. I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and you know this is so important. This whole thing it's bigger than a podcast to me. It's a movement. So I just plan to keep doing these things because these are things that are so important. Like I know this conversation may have seemed small to some of you. Maybe it did, but this is so important because it could be somebody that listens to this and you know they gonna gather you know something from it. And you know they can listen to this and be like, wow, you know I felt like that too, or I experienced that too. And that is the whole premise. And I know I tell this story a lot, but I know there are new people in here and there are people that don't really understand my mission and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So basically, spilling honey is just that it's spilling them sticky things, them situations in your life that, you know, you may not want to talk about, or things that, you know, we just don't open up about at all, and just, you know, coming together and realizing that in each and every person that's around you, every person that's in here, we have found some kind of common ground, some kind of things maybe we disagree on, some kind of things maybe we agree on. But nonetheless, you know, all of our experiences that, or all of the things that we talked about in here, somebody else can listen to it and resonate with it and feel like, wow, you know, I'm not alone. I feel like that too. I resonate with that too. So that really is the whole entire point of this, because, you know, we can, you know, go throughout our life and we can feel like, man, I'm so alone. Like nobody understands how I feel. But in reality, it's always somebody that can understand what you feel, what you're going through. It's always somebody that may be getting ready to go through whatever it is that you're going through. It may be somebody that's already in it at the same time, and it may be somebody that has already overcome it or whatever it may be. So that is just the whole purpose of this. So like I said, I just want to thank each and every one of you for doing this with me, and I want to thank whoever made it all the way to the end of this, whoever is listening, because, you know, these episodes be long, honey, okay? So I appreciate each and every one of y'all that will listen all the way to the end of this and absorb everything that these beautiful people in this room have said. So with that said, I just want to go ahead and close this episode out. This has been another beautiful episode of Spilling Honey. I thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.
Half the food could turn us off a long time ago.
When are we doing this again?